When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, make we talk, my people, make we talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Make we talk, people, make we talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So people, make we talk. Hey, we're living in a world that on ourselves we must When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, make we talk, my people, make we talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Make we talk, people, make we talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So people, make we talk. Hey, we're living in a world that on ourselves we must depend. Make we talk, people.
A pleasant good night to everyone. Welcome to a special edition of the Make We Talk program. Talking Diaspora Affair with Mr. Leo Gilling. He's coming on. He's going to try and come on now. We're listening, watching from around the world in the Eastern Caribbean. Welcome to our program. This Thursday, April 25th, 2024. It's going to be an exciting evening. We're going to speak about things happening in Jamaica and things happening in the diaspora, of course. We're going to speak about that. Mr. Gilling, unmute your mic for me, sir. We're going to speak about what's going on in the diaspora and what's going on in Jamaica. I hope Mr. Gilling can hear me. Would mind if he could unmute his mic. He's going to be our special guest. Mr. Gilling, oh, there he is. Oh,
this
Patrick.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, Lord. Hold on for me. Let me see something here. Hold on for me, please. We're waiting on Mr. Gilling to come on in. Not ready for Mr. Patrick as yet. There he is. Let's hope and pray. There he is. The man of the moment. I'm not hearing you, though. I'm not hearing you. Don't know what's going on with your mic. You can hear me, but I'm not hearing you. It's coming from your end. Come off and make sure you come back in with audio and everything. Yes, we're waiting on to get Mr. Gilling back in. Then we're gonna bring in other guests who are coming on with us to speak what is going on in the diaspora. But in the meantime, until we can get our guests in, Yes, to get our to us at the meantime, as soon as we get our guests in, I'm sorry, I was distracted by a news coming into us. Let me just not be distracted this evening about these news that's coming into us. Let us see if we can get Mr. Gilling to come back in.
All right, I'm back. I'm back,
Yes,
and you should hear. You should be able to hear me now.
I'm hearing you loud and clear. We're gonna be joined by two other guests also. Hope you don't mind.
I don't mind. I have no
Yes,
problem with that. Come on.
yes. Mr. Gilling, welcome to the Make We Talk program.
Respect, my virgin. Good to see you.
Welcome to the Make We Talk program. And I had the pleasure of, well,
Happy
not the
year.
pleasure. What should I say? My deepest condolence to the passing of a friend of yours, eh?
Yes. Dr. Vivian Forrester Angus.
Yes.
Great lady. I'm so sorry that we lost her because she was one of those budding great ones, you know what I mean? She was bright, she's technologically savvy, she's even keeled, everything that you want from a leader, she had it, and
Yes.
sorry to see her go.
My condolences to you again, my friend. I lost my brother. I'm still in mourning because we haven't buried him as yet.
Oh, it's been that recently? That recent?
Yes. Yes. I lost him, didn't know he was 44 years old.
Oh.
Didn't know he was sick. Didn't say anything to anybody.
I'm sorry to hear that. Young people going.
I'm trying to put my best forward, not to really think about it as such, but it's a road for all of us.
Yes.
And one of us have to, make sure that our part and right is straight with the Almighty, no matter what we are.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
Let us segue into the whole concept and the whole discussion of diaspora. Mr. Gilling, what is the meaning of diaspora? What do you think the diaspora mean? What has it? Let me forget about that. What has the diaspora done? What have this diaspora done for the Jamaican people?
What has the diaspora done for Jamaica?
For the Jamaican people, not for Jamaica. For the Jamaican people.
So last time I count, we had more than 300 medical missions going to Jamaica.
Can you feel like a lot? I'm not hearing you.
You can't hear me?
Yeah, go ahead now. I can hear you now. Go ahead.
No, so I said last time I counted, we had more than 300 medical missions going to Jamaica every year. More than 250 education missions going to Jamaica every year. Last thing I know, many Jamaicans who have left Jamaica and come abroad have improved themselves, going to universities, getting their doctorates, getting their masters and their bachelor's degrees that they probably would not have gotten if they were home because they couldn't afford it.
Yes.
Last I know, there have been a lot of Jamaican who are business owners, right? Who are business owners and are doing very well and leading some of the major organizations in the United States, Canada, and in the UK. Now, what does that mean? It means that we are giving hope to our people in Jamaica that one day they can be the same. We have model citizens who they can look forward to. What else have Jamaicans done for it? Jamaicans in the diaspora have given back annually approximately 2.3 billion in money transfers going back to Jamaica. I mean, it's a good question, but if you take just little bits and pieces of information, you won't see the deeper end. People like Jamaica Awareness Association, who does a medical and education mission every year for the past 2001 to 22, 23 years. Organizations like JD Tan that gives offers teacher an opportunity to come to America or come to Canada, nurses come to Canada and to have an opportunity to get developed professionally. What has Diaspora done to Jamaica? Diaspora has put Jamaica on the map in the sense that it has given hope to our people in the country of Jamaica. So
I have joining us now, Mr. Patrick Beckford.
Of course.
Hey, coming in with us.
I was there the other day, and I thought I would have seen you at the function, bro.
Which one of the functions? Which one?
The 60th party.
Oh.
But I know you were mourning.
Yes,
Good
I
to see you.
Yeah, man, same here. See, I called your name, when was it? Day before yesterday? You're always in mind. You're one of the original people them from the back of time, way back. Everybody will know the thing there, right?
Yeah.
Let me say this though, Sir Gilling. A lot of Jamaicans would say that the diaspora may go to Jamaica and all they're interested in is investing in Jamaica. They're not thinking about the people from down a Rima and jungle. Yes, you said that, you know, they have medical missions that go back down and so forth. But, you know, before you answer that question, let me ask Mr. Patrick. Sir Beckford.
Yeah.
What has the diaspora done for the Jamaican people?
Okay, so I know when you ask that question, that the general thing is gonna come on. Let me start and just say this. As an advisory board member, I don't know if Leo was a participant when he was in the left coast.
What a face the man. You face the man.
But Hillary Clinton in 2009 and 2010 had a global diaspora gathering at the State Department for like 3 days. And one of the thing that I gleaned from it was listening to, they had established diaspora movement discuss what their roles, what they did for their country. And I listened, I was hearing my brother Leo talked about the medical mission, the education assistance, and the remittances. But here, and with due respect, I think the all these medical missions and all these things, based on my gathering from that diaspora conference, I termed it as a brush fire approach. You know, the fireman who go and he brush 10 brush fire the day. At the end of the day, I ask him what did he accomplish. He can't say anything. It's a nice to have, a nicer thing, but I think we could do better. We are doing intent right now, because here's what I look at. For example, in 2015, a brother, Philip Maskell, and myself, he was on the advisory board. We sat and we were discussing how can we become more impactful. Based on the discussion, I shared with him that I learned about the Koreans, how the diaspora operated. Use for example their playing and their leadership in Silicon Valley, and transferred that knowledge and created almost every electronic thing we have, from a cell phone to the television, all these things. Most of it built in Korea, and they come from that way. So that's those what they did. So that was a leap economically for the country and for the people to, uplift themselves technologically. For example, the Irish, when I talked to the Irish leader, he was in Silicon Valley. But at the time, the Protestants and the Catholics were at war. And it was the Irish diaspora in the USA that come up with a plan to solve that issue. Simple. They took a Catholic and a Protestant, and each one of them host them together in their house for a period of time. When they go back, they realize, oh, but no, Leo, that man is living Brother Tavares' house and everything. And so they don't throw a stone at each other. They try to come together and say, listen, everything all right. We cook the same way with the beef and whatever. Argentina, there's a third one I can remember. I did not realize that Argentina had a literacy problem up into the early 80s, I think. They had a literacy problem. And it was the Argentina diaspora who went back and put the country back onto a 90+% literacy. So what I'm just saying in short is that what we need to do, how we need to come together, we need to come together and stop doing the brush fire approach where we think we can be education, health, and everything. I think singularly, what we could do is, as a diaspora, said, okay, let us come together and agree on maybe one or two things to move what is critically needed in Jamaica to move Jamaica forward. I'm just thinking that basically what we conceptualize about a diaspora fund. And one of the things that we Philip Maskell and I put on the thing is that, guess what? All the dinner dances and everything we had, we're losing a good 70% of the money because it got to caterers, because most of our people want to dress up.
Fancy and that, yeah.
Right. And so we are saying suspend it. That was before COVID, you know. Dinner dance and everything was suspended from 2020 till maybe 2023, and then started to do it again. And we put it at 3-year suspensions of all the dinner dances, and every Jamaican contribute $10 a month, and 1 million Jamaicans contribute $10 a month. You know how much that would end up after 3 years? Almost $400 million.
Patrick, I hear you, and I think he actually asked what has the diaspora done for Jamaica. Yeah, give us the part where
that's the answer I need from you, Mr. Beckford. What has the diaspora done for Jamaica? For Jamaicans, Jamaicans.
Remember, he missed the part. I'm saying our brush fire approach to medicine and to education is a one-off thing, because we go back and we do the same thing over and over each year. There's no long-term sustainable plan. That's why I use the word brush fire approach. We are contributing, and we feel nice when we get a picture taken and say, boy, this and this contribute X, Y, Z. But it's just that what we're developing, as one of my mayor friends, Jamaican mayor friends, say, we develop those in Jamaica is a Tekisha class, and we are the philanthropist class. And that's what we're doing. What I'm looking at, that's why I talk about the brush fire approach. We have done stellar things individually. I mean, I could tell you, for example, like what we did of the Trelawney group did. We were the ones who pushed the pier and the stadium, even though it's just...
but Mr. Beckford, you push the stadium and the pier and everything, but the people in Trelawney who has the craft market, majority of them can't even go over there and make a little living. The cruise ship people not even going inside there. Have we just joining our Wilfred Radigan? Mr. Radigan, welcome to the Make We Talk program, sir.
That's a political thing that we don't have much say in it to a point. We did, and that was one of the things that I was involved really in it, and that's one of the things. There's a number of people who got thing, but the way the government, just like the tourism, the government really is. The tourism and the hotel industry in Jamaica is like an apartheid system. Let me put it this way, because I mean, and I had a big debate with some people. Said Ed Bartlett is the hardest working minister. I said, to do what?
To sell the country out.
Exactly, because Leo and myself and Will and you, we do more sales for Jamaica than a minister who goes and set up these contracts with hotels that leave, or that, I mean, if I go to, that's a different something, because I could tell you a proposal that I put.
Let me welcome in Wilfred Rattigan. Mr. Rattigan, welcome to the program.
Yeah, thank you, Jeffrey. Thank you for having me. Big up all of the panelists, Mr. Leo Gilling, Virgin Patrick Beckford, and all of the listening and viewing audience. Thanks for having me.
Yes, the question I'm asking Mr. Rattigan is, in your opinion, has the diaspora done enough for the Jamaican people?
Well, that's a complex question. When you say diaspora, for me, are you talking about the diaspora, the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council? Are you talking about the advisory board, the predecessor of the council? Or are you talking about individual groups within the diaspora? And the reason I ask
the Global Jamaican Diaspora.
Oh, that's foolishness.
That's what you're asking about?
Yes.
You have to be very clear in your question, because that's
okay.
Not
sorry.
Yeah.
your opinion, Mr. Rattigan?
No, it's foolishness. That's that their lambs being led to the slaughter. They don't serve my purpose. They don't serve the people's purpose. In fact, if you look at the elections, I mean, that should be very telling. The Northeast represents over 1 million people, yet less than 100 people voted for her. On a daily basis, when I have this conversation with people say to me, who's the rep? They don't know her. I don't know if it's her fault or it's the system fault or whatever, but the fact of the matter is that people should know you if you represent them. And so I don't see where they've been of any use to the diaspora members, because we have people suffering in the diaspora and we also have people suffering in Jamaica. When you have a rep who says, you know, somebody came to me and they had a passport problem and I refer them to the CG. We don't need couriers. We need advocates. And for me, that's a no-no. So as far as I'm concerned, they're useless. And in fact, I would be remiss if I didn't say this. They no longer exist because that name has been registered, not by them, by others. So come next week, they should be prepared to receive a cease and desist letter. And if they continue to use the name, then they should be prepared to go before a judge and explain why. So,
Mr. Leo Gilling?
I think you asked the wrong question first. You asked
why?
What the diaspora has done for Jamaica. You didn't ask what the Global Jamaica Diaspora has done for Jamaica. Is that the question that you wanted to ask?
Go ahead and answer that question then, yes.
I really can't answer that question, but I can tell you that I have no problem with the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council. And because to me, they're the government's arm that they put out there to advise the minister. And
so hold on there for me, Mr. Gilling. You're saying to me that you don't have a problem with it.
No.
When the junior minister himself is the one everybody has to answer to. If the diaspora organization, hold on for me, sir. If there's a diaspora organization, why does the diaspora have to answer to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade?
I don't think that the diaspora answers to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. I think the diaspora, the global diaspora reps respond to the ministry.
But they are your representative.
No. You're getting that totally mixed up. You're completely mixed up there.
In what way?
Yes. There's an election inside of our diaspora.
Yes.
And we voted for a person to represent us with the Minister of Foreign Affairs. So once the Minister of Foreign Affairs says, hey, I am appointing you as a rep, for me, they don't belong to the community anymore. Their reporting goes to the ministry. So the ministry has them out there as people to observe what's going on. This is my take on from this time I joined the
Advisor board.
The advisor board. From the time I got that TOR, the TOR specifically stated that we are advisors to the Minister of Foreign Affairs. I think what happened is that they allowed us to vote inside our region, and that's where the mistake is made. The fact that we voted, we expect representation, but that's not true, because the minister turns around and gives them a note that says, hey, you are now our advisor. So you go out there and observe what's going on in the diaspora and come back and tell us. That's what they're supposed to do.
But Leo, I mean, I hear you on that, and that's one of the reasons. That was my number one reason for not going back for re-election, because if I see I was voted in by the Northeast, which is like the largest batch of Jamaicans. And when I looked at the very I sat down, and it was the minister that's reading off the agenda item. The next meeting, I send in my agenda items, and a lot of people and I started to ask questions, because if you vote for me, I'm expecting, and if I vote for you, I'm expecting like I can come to you and say, Leo, XYZ needs to be addressed, because you're sitting with the minister. But what I think, the advisor board was a start.
It was a start.
Once we start to evolve, it's like the cart is before the horse. No, because the diaspora is a body by itself. That's why we're looking for vote at one part for the diaspora and representative in parliament.
Yes.
And when you look at the other diasporas, that is why the Global Jamaica Diaspora was created, because we were saying it wasn't enough, and we need to look at it holistically. Yes. What has happened now is that this government, for example, railroad the system, because it has they said equal amount of representatives. So the minister will get 14, and the diaspora will elect 14. The minister is going to appoint 14. The diaspora will vote for their 14. And guess what happened? The minister is a chair. So you have 14 and 14 is 28 and 1. And if you vote the election, anything the minister say go.
Right. Well,
and that is not supposed to be, because we didn't. And I mean, and I think I share it with Will. My proposal that I made to them based on my experience and from working at the advisory board to set up I think I probably coined, I don't know if I remember, Will, but you read the thing, but I think I coined the name Global Jamaica Global Diaspora Council, where everybody is elected and we control the diaspora in the diaspora, like every other thing. Right now, we're just lucky, and the minister go there. When you go to the conference, which we go to and tell you the settings, you and I know it. You have all chairman of Jamaica National and VMBS and everybody being panelists.
Leah going down here, Leah going on to invest and so forth.
What? Is it me going to?
Yes.
No. I am going. I believe in conference. I believe in the diaspora conference. That's what got me started. That's what got many of us started, because that's where we started our networking. We get to know who and who is doing what and what wherever, get ideas about how to engage ourselves inside of our communities. I don't have a problem with that. I believe that, as I said, Patrick is correct. The whole thing got turned around. We used to vote in Jamaica. When you vote in Jamaica and we vote for our own representatives, we had our own, we go out, break out in our own sessions, Midwest, West, and East, and whatever. And we voted on the floor. So when we come back to America or wherever we are, then we are our representatives inside of our regions. But once the change took place, where we are now voting inside our regions, and especially because the election now is being done on the ministry's website, you definitely know that the people who are the representative of the government has nothing to do with community. They're all representatives of the government. And so in America, for example, and not in Canada, in America, I do consider the advisory, and many people will get mad at me. They will get mad at me because I do consider the representatives, the three in the United States, to be foreign agents. And if based on the DOJ, that's what it says. In Canada, Canada don't have any foreign policy. They're developing one. UK doesn't have any foreign policy. They're developing one. Australia has a foreign policy. So then if someone in Australia is appointed by the ministry, then they are foreign agents in Australia also. And so it is important for us to first understand when you become directly related to a government, taking instructions from a government, that's you are no longer the people's representative. It is very clear.
Mr. Rattigan, you're taking what Mr. Gilling just said.
Yeah, well, I agree with Leo on the representatives being agents of a foreign power or a foreign principal. I agree with that, and that they should register under FARA. I've been a proponent of that for years, and I've been largely ignored. I also agree with him that these people are, which is part and parcel of the argument of registering under FARA, is that they're too affiliated with the government, even though they try to distance themselves when you ask them. For example, I ask my representatives, Michelle Tolonil, and she's giving me the impression that no, we just advise the government. Well, let me just disabuse everybody who has everybody who has the notion that these three people in the United States, that they represent us. And it's very simple case to prove. All you need to do is go to the policy, or you go to the terms of reference. The policy is 80-something pages, so we won't use that. But let me just run you some things through the why I completely disagree with the idea that these people represent us, and that and the support for a global Jamaica Diaspora Council conference, particularly since the biennial conference is always held in Jamaica. A diaspora biennial conference is always held in Jamaica. What about the diaspora? Why is it not held in Canada 1 and 2 years later in the UK and 2 years later in the US and 2 years later in Jamaica? I'm not saying exclude Jamaica, but they're doing it in Jamaica to the exclusion of the diaspora. And then they want you to pay plane ticket, hotel accommodations, ground transportation, phone, food, and then to pay a registration fee of $160. Now, keep in mind, it's your conference. And the minister herself, I heard her say it. We have planned this with you in mind. What the hell is that? We should be planning our conference. I have no problems with a global Jamaica Diaspora Council, but it has to be autonomous, and it has to be independent and separate from the government of Jamaica. It should sit at the table as equals with the government officials. We should be talking about issues affecting people in the diaspora and people affecting the people in Jamaica. Instead, what we have is the Jamaican government. They say, this is our priority list, and we're going to give you some work to do around it. And if people don't believe me, all they need to do is Google the it called terms of reference and operational modalities, and they can go straight to section 1, where the very last Roman numeral 6, it says it is important to note that the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council is not an arm of the government of Jamaica. Well, that's a damn lie, because here's why. Back then in 2020, they had 28 members. Of the 28 members in 2020, 21 of them were appointed by the government of Jamaica, and that's a fact. 21 out of the 28. 28 people representing the people living outside, the Jamaicans living outside of Jamaica, Jamaicans and their offspring. And of the 28 representatives, 21 of them appointed, selected by the government of Jamaica. Where you ever hear this? How is that representation? Now they've gone to 30, and more than half of them are appointed by the government of Jamaica to this day. How does that work? How does that then it goes on to say right here that they also appoint in that number they appoint sector representatives where they talk about people with arts, expertise in education, citizen security, development issues. I say to them, you see, when you have problems with weapons being illegally brought into the country, don't make the statement that the diaspora for do this and the diaspora for do that. Them have a man who in charge of citizen security named something junior out of Canada. He's the person who's supposed to go to and ask him, say, what plans do you have to assist with us preventing weapons from coming into the US? I don't see a policy paper from him. I don't hear from him, but yet till they come to us, we are not the sector reps. No, if you go further down, then Patrick mentioned that they have one individual, a discretionary appointment. But here's the thing that really sticking on my craw. Governance structure. The Global Jamaica Diaspora Council will be led and supported by 4 individuals. The chair, the head cook and bottle washer will be the minister in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade responsible for diaspora affairs. That's Minister Terry Long. The second person, the vice chair, is the representative, a diaspora representative from California. The next 2, the Undersecretary for Diaspora, Protocol and Consular Affairs, a government official. And the last person, the Director of the Diaspora Affairs Department in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade. That alone tells me that we don't have no control. It should be the other way around. The diaspora should consist of 3, if anything.
But
Go ahead.
me hear you. And I think you made your point clear, right? And I really don't have a problem with the structure. It's the messaging that's the problem. If the messaging is saying that we have representation in the diaspora, then that the messaging is incorrect, right? I want to also correct something with you with the conference. The conference is called the Biennial Jamaica Diaspora Conference. The original setup on that, and I don't know if you were there from inception, the original setup on the conference was for the government spending the money to put on the conference. They will get different sponsors and partners, and they have legacy partners and so forth that help to do this conference. The conference is set up to invite us home. It's a Ministry of Foreign Affairs event where they invite us home, the diaspora home, to come and enjoy the benefits of being at home from various places. So bringing the conference to another place would not be serving the original purpose of the conference, because it's actually.
Hold on there, Mr. Gilling. Let me ask you this question. To invite you home to enjoy home. That's what you're saying to us, eh?
Yeah, man. To enjoy the benefits and do your networking and being a part of understanding and doing your needs assessment,
networking and
visiting the institutions, because I don't do anything in Jamaica without first understanding. And my job, I believe that my job is to help where I can in Jamaica. But I don't do anything in Jamaica unless I do my visits to schools, visits to clinics, visits to hospital, sitting down with people and understanding. That is what the conference is about. And so it is a matter of bringing people home, us home, so that we get a chance to feel and hear and understand. If you're going there for needs assessment, that's what you go there for.
But you see, Brother T, here's what my friend and I have a disagreement with now. The whole concept of the conference originally, because it's just like, we are both educators at some point in our lives. And at first the baby start to creep, then he learn to stand up, then he walk. Right? We were in a creeping stage when this diaspora movement was made. Now we have to look at it. What you're saying now is that we go there to look and everything. And this is where I was talking about benchmarking from other successful diasporas. Because I don't think I need to have to go to Jamaica to do anything to go do that. What we can do is to cooperate with locals in Jamaica, because we can't go there and assess. So, okay. In other words, we're gonna, as a diaspora, we have a policy. Well, we're gonna work on education for the next 3 years. So we get the independent educators. Because let me just backtrack with one thing you said about the conference. I had a big problem with the ministry. Because when after I attended the first conference, I said, okay, I'm a board member. How much did it cost you to put on this conference? What's the sponsorship? How much did you get for sponsorship? I can show you the letter. I received the response and said, and then I'm a damn business. And I had to threaten that person. When I
hold on, Mr. Patrick. You're saying to me it came from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs?
Yes, that it is none of my business to know how much money they received for sponsorship, how the money was spent. And Patrick, I had issue with that.
Patrick, I don't understand though. I don't understand that.
No, listen to me. I sat on the board. Let me ask a question. When you sit on the board, were you ever told that they collect $1 million in sponsorship and we spend $20 on transportation, this for food, that? Nothing. It was a vexing issue for me. I can share the letter with you.
The way I see this, Patrick, if I were spending money to put on the conference, if I were a sponsor of that conference, if I were a principal putting on and gathering all of the other pieces together to make sure that the underground, paying then I would be interested in that. But I don't believe that I would care one bit what the government spend on it.
No, why not? Hold on there. Why not? Why not? It's taxpayers' money.
Leo, if I'm collecting money on behalf of J-Time, right? Wouldn't you, as an official in it, want to know how much I collected, how I spend it?
Absolutely.
But that is gross negligence as a board member.
No. But the board.
When you're collecting money for a diaspora conference that I'm sitting on a board, and my fiduciary responsibility says you collect it under board.
We did not have a fiduciary responsibility.
What if somebody, the way money is embezzled in Jamaica, what if somebody spent out the whole life?
We did not have a fiduciary as a board member. We did not have a fiduciary responsibility.
But that is why it's a false notion that we have a board.
Right, because it's.
And that's what I'm saying. We need to change it, because right now we still have it though, and we call it a different fancy name. But it's still a pig. It's still a pig, and that's why I'm so anti this global diaspora organization as it is construed right now, because it is not responsible. We should say. Let me tell you one thing. I just say one thing. When I went when I put on my agenda items, I give you two agenda items. You know, the first time ever Jamaica Diaspora Bond was introduced to Jamaica, to the government. It was introduced as one of my agenda items. You know who was a part of a committee that I created to look at the Jamaica Diaspora Bond? The chairperson is now the Council General of New York. And she will tell you, because I said we need to do something in this penny every year, because we are thinkers. And if we think together and have the independence, we can do leaps and bounds. And that is why I'm saying we need to move from this brush fire situation where we say health and we got to put $1,000 in one school and all this. Create a big education fund. When children are come up here, when they come up in New York and then come on the shoes and so forth in a winter, then foot and frostbite hit them because we are not organized as a community to say, okay, how many things? Simple things.
I think we are confusing our responsibility though. I really do think that we are confusing our responsibility.
No, as defined by the government. Defined by the government.
The messaging is incorrect, and I will say that all day long. The messaging is incorrect. Wilfred said something a while ago about at the bottom of the
terms of reference.
Yeah. What is that statement again? That they are not
arm.
An arm.
Arm of the government, yeah.
But the government are run it.
To me, that is really a ridiculous message that they're sending out there. That should not be there, because once you are, from America's standpoint, I don't know about Canada, and I don't know about UK, and I don't know
Commonwealth.
Once you're in the United States, you accept an appointment directly or indirectly. You're talking to somebody from Jamaica who is a principal, give you direction to do something in America. You are an agent of the government, which means that you are not a representative of the community in your capacity.
Right, and so that's why we need to change the system where we control our direction. Because, all right, let me tell you this.
Well, you're not going to change it. You're not going to change the system with the government involved at all. You have to create your own.
Right, and that is why I'm saying no. This is right. Let me tell you. Let me just be blunt. I would never spend my $2,000 for to sit down and Andrew Holness addressing me, because he's a fraud, in my opinion. And I wouldn't waste $2,000 figure, because if I'd gone into a meeting, I'd have turned my back, got up and stand up and turn my back when he's speaking. I mean, I'm telling you this. So $2,000 is worth it for me if you go demonstrate. Because secondly, the chairman now of the Diaspora, or the minister, needs to resign because he disrespects the first female and only female prime minister by defacing that thing, and he's coming up and blaming underling. So I'm just telling you, if we had that conference, we'd have disinvite him. If we were having the conference, whether in Canada or the United States or UK, we don't.
And all he does is push misinformation too.
I think that the conference is not about the Prime Minister. I am not going to the.
But Leo, with all due respect to you, Mr. Gilling, hold on a minute.
Let me finish.
Hold on a minute, Mr. Gilling. With all due respect to you, sir.
If I'm going to the conference, I am going there for my own reasons. There are 300 people, to me, this isn't me. There are 300 people, some from Italy, some from Canada, some from America, and I want to meet them. That is my purpose of going to conference. And I want to take my team there so that they get a chance to meet other people. Also, I want to use the conference to go to schools and go meet with some teachers, go to clinic and go meet with some nurses. That's why I go.
But Mr. Gilling, would you on this program right here now admit yes or no? Is the Jamaican diaspora right now, all they do is bring people down to have a cup of tea and chat, pay bloody nonsense and talk about investment? What about the poor Jamaican people who are trying to get ends meet? What about those people?
What's the question? What's the question? You're asking me a question.
The question I'm asking you right now, going down to this diaspora conference that they're having down there, is it for the Jamaican people or is it for the government of Jamaica?
It's for the diaspora and the government and the people of Jamaica.
No. For the government of Jamaica.
No, for the people of Jamaica.
For VMBS and Grace and all those people.
Well, listen, as I said, I go to the conference for my own reasons, to do needs assessment. You might go there for a totally different reason, but I am going there because I want to learn some things that are different from what Patrick said about the Prime Minister. And I am going there because this is my opportunity to meet with the PIOJ and talk to them and understand where they're going, so that I can implement that into my giving. When I give back, I want to know what those needs are so that I can. So if I'm going to Jamaica, I want to learn.
Leo, a conference, the word conference means togetherness, where everybody should go there with a meeting of the minds. Let me tell you one thing. I don't know if, I know you've been there. I don't know if Will, our brother T has been there. But here's what
That's
happened.
one place me now go.
All right, let me tell you what happened. The conference that I know of. You go there, and the first thing they said, they set the agenda. Okay? The ministry set the agenda. They set the panelists. Who is going to be the moderator for the panel? And it's a half an hour. That moderator go up there and filibuster the darn thing for about half of the time, because he has to show he or she has to show smart, and they're smarter than you guys because of the American and things are smarter than Canada or UK and everything. And then when now you have to go in the conference to participate, if they're interested in education, it's a long line away. And then a lot of us talk. I call it the Talk Fest, because that's what it is. Because people go, oh, I'm Dr. This and so, and I've been in da. It's not a conference, it's a talk fest. What we need to do is sit down. Okay, what my suggestion to them is that, listen, limit the amount of topics that we got to do. Let's sit down and set, like say, for example, education. What could we think the diaspora need? And we sit down and formulate a plan, set some timelines, some things where we said, okay, by 6 months, we should get this report on early childhood, this on high school, this on all the different things. And we'll put a diaspora plan that we would like to participate in Jamaica through these initiatives. But we just have a bunch of people coming.
I agree with him. I agree with him, because you go there and you get a chance to speak. They give you 2 minutes, right? Yeah, I understand.
So that's not a conference. So that's what I'm saying.
But that's not why I go there. So to just make that
clear. But you don't need to go to the conference for that then.
Oh yes, because then I can bring my team. I bring a team there all the time.
A business team from your company, Mr. Gilling?
From my company, and I don't mix my business with my.
I'm just asking, sir, because you said you go do it. Don't get me wrong, I'm trying to figure out when they say you're a team.
A team of volunteers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But
Mr. Rattigan?
Let me just say that I've been listening to Leo and listening to Patrick and you, and first of all, it gives me great joy to be in the company of good, solid Jamaicans, people who can share ideas without being uncivil. It's the first thing. I agree with Leo that the so-called representatives of this movement that's now defunct, that they are agents of the government of Jamaica. I agree with him. I disagree with him when he says that it's the messaging only. I think it's also the construct, because the construct, it lays it out. And Leo, please do me a favor. I know you're familiar with the terms of reference, but go back and read it with a fine tooth comb. Just spend some time and go line by line, and you will see the influence. You will see the management. You will see the control that the Jamaican government has over the diaspora, now defunct movement. You'll see that. Now, let me make an argument for you, Leo, as to why you shouldn't go to the conference. If your idea is to go to the conference, to get involved with business, to make a buck, then yes. And that's why we call it a business expo. It is not a diaspora conference. Once you use the word diaspora, Leo, there are very few people in the diaspora who can afford to do what you do, to go there and to say, well, I am there. Let me see to do a needs assessment. There are very few people who would go there for that. You also said you go there for your own reasons. There are very few people. Most of the people who would be inclined to go, they go because they say, we want to hear what the government is doing about certain things. Now, let me put this to you. I'm not sure if you listened to the launch that took place in Jamaica, but the gentleman who got up first and spoke, Mr. Courtney Campbell, he said, let me give you 10 reasons why you should come to this conference. And I'm going to give you the 10 reasons. And I'll tell you my reasons for not going after. He said, the first reason, it's being held in Montego Bay. That is not a good reason to go. That is absolutely not a good reason to go. Second reason, come and spend time in Jamaica. You don't have to go to the conference to spend time in Jamaica. Why am I going to spend $2,000 to go to a conference to spend time in Jamaica? I'd much rather go the place behind me, Waterhouse, where me come from, go spend time with my brethren, them sitting on the corner and talk about things and buy them some food and spend some money on the economy. Third thing, visit the arts and craft market. Leo, come on. That can't be for real. The fifth, Jamaican food. I have to go there to, first of all, the hotel where you're going to serve authentic Jamaican food, and cater for tourists. You know that. The sixth reason, come and visit the property that you want to buy. Leo, how many people in the diaspora can get up and say, I am going to Jamaica and I want to go to a conference because I want to hear what properties are being sold. You don't have to go to conference to do that if you have the money. You just call a real estate agent, call your family member, call a friend. You don't have to spend money. The seventh reason, him said, to tour the island. Leo, come on. You need to go to a conference for tour the island. Tour the island, him said, in an island car rental using your Digital phone. And I'll get to that later on. 8, to rekindle connections. You don't need to go to a conference to rekindle your connections in Jamaica. 9, him said, conference agenda. Him don't specify what that is. I'll tell you what it should be. Then 10, build stronger networks in areas you're interested in. I say to people, and by the way, people, all of the people in the chat, all my family members, all I know, I soon ask about how to make a donation to the One Jamaica Legal Defense Foundation. This Saturday, everything will be up and running. Cash App, Zelle, everything will be running. So just hold off a couple more days. I want to get in. And then I say a lady, Millicent says she don't leave because she hear nonsense. No, Millicent, you need stay with us because your pick sense out of nonsense. And we are doing it now. Now, Leo, here's the thing. There is only one Global Jamaica Diaspora Conference that is being held on June 16th to June 19th. You notice I didn't say held in Jamaica, just held. And that is our conference, dubbed the People's Conference. And it will be online, where you don't have to spend a year fear, not this, not that, no. You go out work, take no time. You come home, you cock up your foot, you eat your dinner, you watch, and you participate. I will not give you 2 minutes either. You talk as long as you want. And here are the issues, Leo. Poverty, health, education, national security, water, infrastructure, quality of life. Those are the issues that the majority of Jamaicans want to talk about. What I heard from everything, from the 3 launches I've listened to the one in Jamaica, the one in the UK, the one in Florida. They are selling, that's a business expo. They're selling products, services, and having you invest. How many people in the diaspora can afford to do that, Leo? How many people in the diaspora like you? Not many. Not many. So what do we need to hear? What we want to hear, what I was hoping I would hear is that we are bringing the diaspora together and we are going to address and tackle these issues that the government has been failing to deal with. And we're going to come up with solutions, because the People's Conference, we will have speakers. And not only will we speak about the issues, but we will come up with viable solutions. Viable solutions, Leo.
I hear you.
Leo, let me say something before you answer. And just follow up. When I talk about the investment, how many of us in the diaspora have confidence in investing in Jamaica with the SSL thing, debacle, and Usain Bolt, for example, how much $1 million missing and nothing happening to it, and all the other things that we're seeing? I mean, so who would want to invest their hard-earned money at this time, because there's no confidence? I mean, the latest poll yesterday that published said 47% of the people think the government is going in the wrong direction. I mean, so why would I, from outside?
I am not here. I'm not here to defend what governments do, the government of Jamaica do. To me, I care about the people of Jamaica, but I don't want to get into the middle of why Jamaican government do this and why my interest in the Diaspora conference. And I will be tuning into Wilfred's and his team's conference too, because I want to learn. My whole idea and what I teach my team, my leadership team, is that get as much as you can from whatever is there. That's how we operate. So you have to think about this for a minute. We don't just sit here and do nothing. Everything that we do is about heading to Jamaica and doing things. Diaspora engagement is a whole lot enough. In Canada, diaspora engagement is building a community. Diaspora engagement is building a community in Canada, not in Jamaica, I know. In Canada. So the people in Canada are constantly working and piling and churning how it is that we can make our community better in Canada, not in Jamaica. In America, most people in London, most people who do diaspora engagement are looking forward to taking their resources to Jamaica. It's a different concept, but it is the same thing where you're building Jamaica from within or without.
Let me answer this question, Mr. Gilling.
Hold on, let me finish my discourse. My whole effort is to create capacity building opportunities for teachers, nursing, security people, technology people, building capacity. That's my thing in Jamaica. So whatever resources that I have here, I am, me along with the team that we work with, we put the resources together and head to Jamaica. Now, any opportunity that I get to learn more about how to do that well, that's what I do. So we might be on two different.
Hold on for Mr. Rattigan. Hold on a minute, please. Remember what I'm going to say. Mr. Gilling just said that he's not interested in the fundamental of the politics of the people of the Vumbo.
Didn't say that. Didn't say that at all. Don't go.
What did you say then?
Government, he said. Government.
Government.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
the government.
No,
All right. Let me ask you this question. Hold on a minute, please. The recent Dan Anderson poll said, okay, right direction 28%, no change 25%, and the wrong direction the country is going is 47%. You're saying to me, sir, that that don't concern you at all?
I didn't say that. I said,
does it concern you?
What the government does.
Does it concern you, Mr. Gilling? Yes or no, sir?
On a personal note, of course, on a personal note, of course, it concerns me. But I'm not going to sit here and try to direct the government what they need to do.
Why not?
They have to figure it out for themselves.
No. But if they come here, Mr. Gilling, hold on, Mr. Gilling. Mr. Gilling, hold on. If they come here to collect the money from the diaspora people up here, if we are sending money back into Jamaica, how much billions of dollars back into Jamaica, invest in Jamaica, you're saying to me that you don't want to have a say in what they're doing down there?
No, we're saying I don't. Brethren, you have to say what I say. Okay, I said
Ratty,
what the government does for infrastructure and to do with its people. I am not getting in the middle of that. What I get in the middle of is where I live. I get in the middle of that. Whatever is happening into my country.
All right. Leo, you said that you really don't, I'm paraphrasing, you really don't care about what the government is doing, right? Because you're doing your own thing, helping people. Now, that view, am I correct in saying that?
No, not really. Not really.
Make it real.
I personally care.
Tell me what you say. Make it real. Tell me what you say.
Okay, so let's say the government decides, let's say crime is high.
Mm-hmm.
I am not going to be up here trying to do things to make the government do it my way. If the government allows me to speak on crime, then I will speak on crime. But
do you think the Minister of National Security would allow you to speak on crime?
Hold on. If the government allows me to speak on crime, I will speak on crime. If whatever policies they employ in Jamaica, I'm not getting involved with that because I'm not there.
All right. Now, the view that you express is not the view being held by the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council, and it's not the view that's being proposed and upheld by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade. And I'll give you evidence of that. Okay. Let's go to the diaspora policy. The policy says, and I'll read it, the purpose, it says right here, purpose of the policy. It says the purpose of the policy is to establish a framework for the coordinated engagement of Jamaica's diaspora in keeping with the government's commitment to broad inclusion of the diaspora in nation building, and recognizing the tremendous, let me finish. Recognizing the tremendous capacity, interest, and resources within the diaspora group. Then they went on to say that they have 8 policies. One of them is the facilitation of the diaspora's partnership in national development processes. Then they go on to say, it's right here. Give me 1 second, I'll get to it. It says right here, here it is. It says, for the purpose of this policy, diasporic engagement and diaspora and development can be considered as a threefold issue. 1, development of the diaspora in the host country, which is what you're referring to. 2, involvement of the diaspora in homeland development.
Absolutely.
That's the government. That's the government saying that. Then hold on a second. Then the 3rd, partnership and interaction between the diaspora and institutions in the country of origin. Therefore, diaspora and development connotes a host of issues regarding the diaspora, the home country, which is Jamaica, the relationship between the two, the relationship between the diaspora and host country, and the interaction between governments in the home and host countries, including issues relating to rights, citizenship, protections, and governance.
Right. Wilfred, what I just said to you, there's no difference in what I'm saying.
Big difference, because
I am saying that wherever the resources are needed in Jamaica, and there are gaps that I can fill, and the team that are around me, that the team that is around me can fill, then we will fill it. But hold on, we are only here to fill gaps, find the resources that are available that can fill gaps. I am not changing any laws. We are not going there to create any kind of waves. We are looking at where we can make
Leo, that's so naive. Because let me ask you a question.
Hold on there, Patrick. Hold on a minute.
We can't do anymore.
But Leo, you just gave an example, Leo, and you said that if for crime issues or whatever, and if they come up with a policy, then that's them, that you're not going to get involved. But here it is in the policy, it says you must get involved in issues relating to rights, citizenship, protections, and governance.
What we do, the word says engagement with the diaspora. That's what it says, and it says capacity. You say
not engaging with them.
No.
With national security issues, you said no. You said national security issues.
I am not going to get involved in policy, in making new policies or putting pressure on the government to change their policies in what they're doing. That's what I'm saying.
Why not?
What my job is, what we do, and I want it to be very clear. I want to be very clear. What we do, we look for gaps. We look for needs that we can fill. Because we don't have the resources to fill all broad gaps. We look for small gaps that we need to fill, and we fill them. That's our role.
But Leo, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. IDBF, IMF, USAID, all these
World Bank and everyone.
World investment are contributors to third world. Don't you think before they put $1 million in a Jamaica saying education, they have to know that there's a policy and they're going to have their input in it, because so that means say, why if you can give money and no matter what me do with it,
that's not true though. That is not true.
But
no. That is absolutely not true.
If the government don't have a policy that you are comfortable with, you have to know what policy that if I put a building here to do a basic school, the government will make sure that the infrastructure is there. Even then as business say you put up on school building and then going. Of course.
That's the only way. That's the only way I can do.
But you have to involve yourself in the policies.
No. We are saying the wrong thing. You're saying the absolute wrong thing. I didn't say that I'm not involved in the policy. I am saying, well, maybe I did, in the sense that
yes, you did.
I do not want to sit here in America.
Yes.
And tell the government what they need to do.
Why not?
No. Because
if I'm going to give my money, you have to listen to me. The
way I work it, Patrick.
Why are we contributing? Because there's
a need.
Extra, or they just
because there's a need. Because there's a need.
Right, and they're not fulfilling their need as they
No. You're looking probably at the broader need, because you look at crime as they're doing 1,500 murders a year. And I don't look at it that way. I think that's the government of Jamaica's problem that they need to solve.
Let me answer your question. Let
me finish my discussion. But if there are 5 police leaders who are out there, and the 5 police leaders on the street are doing the wrong things because they don't know how to do the right thing. They're accustomed to beating up people. And I want to train them how to do de-escalation. And I want to teach them how to do crisis management and understanding the behavior of the public and the crowd. And I can teach them that by building their capacity. Then that's what I'm going to be doing.
But if the government...
So let me ask you this question. Hold on for me, Patrick. Let me ask you this question. If you say that's what you want to do, you have to do that. Do you have any idea? Would the Minister of National Security allow you to do that?
I don't know. I actually don't know.
There you go. There you go. Hold on. I allow you to speak, Mr. Gilling.
Okay,
let me speak now, sir.
Ask me a question and I'm answering.
Hold on for me. Okay. Hold on for me. You just said, that you don't know if they will allow you. Because you're not involved in what they're going on with down there, sir.
No, because I have not sent any I have not personally from my organization in the past year or 2 or so send them a proposal to do capacity building. I have not done that. But if you're saying that if I send them a letter to say, hey, listen, we have this skill that we want to give to you as in your department or whatever your police department is, and they say no, what am I going to do? They can't know about that.
So would they answer your letter, sir?
Would they answer my letter? I don't know. I've not sent them. I've written letters to them and they've responded. But several times. Because the way I do my thing, I said I do a lot of speaking to people who, when I go to conference, I go to meet people.
Yes, the people of the Vumvava and the Vumvavi.
No.
Yes,
I go there to
because
meet
those are the only people that go there, Mr. Gilling.
No,
the people of the Vumvava and the Vumvavi, those are the people who go there. The
Patrick will
grassroots,
tell you.
hold on, Mr. Gilling. The local grassroots people them who live below crossroads don't go those places. They're not allowed to go those places, Mr. Gilling.
I don't agree with you.
Why not?
Because
can they afford $100 to get in?
Listen.
Can Mr. Gilling? Can they afford $100 to get into the conference, sir?
I'm going to answer your question.
Okay, go ahead.
So listen. When I meet those people, they come because JN hires them. Because the Ministry of the RGD hires them.
The people of the Vumvava.
The Housing Trust hired them. And what happens is you get to meet those clerks and the different persons who work for these organizations at the conference. So I
What-
get a chance to talk to them.
While other Jamaicans who play house interest can't get a house all now.
I don't believe that if you have never been to the conference, Mr. Tavares, you probably should not be asking me a question about the conference in that
Why
manner.
not?
Because you have to experience it first to tell me, say, boy, them have these kind of people, they go
But
down.
experience a conference where
It's unfair for you to
experience
do
a
that.
conference, Mr. Gilling, where the people of the Vumva and the Vumva go up and drink champagne glass while the people who live below cross would die for hunger, sir? No.
I eat lunch with regular people. Yeah, man.
Leo,
Yeah, man.
let me just say that
before you say that, I really respect your presentation, Wilfred. I like your presentation and I enjoy talking with you. So I want you to know that.
Likewise.
Yeah,
let me just say that I've actually been to one of the conferences. So I can, and you kind of dismiss Jeffrey a while ago by saying if you haven't been to one of the conferences, then you can't really ask questions.
Yeah.
But I disagree with you because you don't have to hit it. You don't have to hit it against the wall to know it's going to hurt, right? You can see from what other people.
Well, I asked him not to ask the question in the way that he did.
Yeah. All right. No, here's the thing. I've been to a conference, and to me, it's all about product, services, and investment. No, a while ago you said that, look, I'm not going to get involved with the government if they come up with a policy regarding crime and all that stuff. No, let me ask you, let me just go back to the policy, because that's where I live. I live in the policy. I don't live in suppositions and things like that. No, I'm reading it right here, and it says that one of the things that the diaspora should be involved in is reducing the high levels of crime in Jamaica, which impact who? The diaspora's confidence to either return to live, undertake short-term consultancies, or invest in Jamaica. So they're telling you that, yes, we want you to be involved. But it gets better. It gets better. That's page 26 for those of you following along the policy. Let me go to page 31. Page 31 says, here we go. Overall objectives of the policy are to develop and implement strategies that strengthen diaspora outreach, empowerment, engagement, and relations across all stakeholder groupings. It goes on to say to provide guidance, that you have to help them to provide guidance for the design, implementation, and monitoring of initiatives that facilitate diaspora participation in national development. Then I won't bore you. I won't. You're not boring me. You're not boring me. All right. Then we go to 37. Right on page 37, it gets better. Page 37 talks about, here we are, and this area is safety and security, right? And here's what it says. It says the government of Jamaica recognizes the impact of crime on its citizens at home and in the diaspora, as well as its impact on the economy. It will continue to investigate and support measures for addressing this issue through partnerships with the host country and who else? The diaspora.
All right.
Then it says the government will undertake awareness or raising initiatives, including public education and advocacy aimed at empowering who? The diaspora. And then, don't leave me yet. Stay with me. Stay with me. It says, you talk about policies and say, well, if they pass a policy, I don't want to get involved. It says right here in the strategies, the government and its partners will strengthen linkages at the local government level to enhance the contributions of the diaspora in local sustainable planning process. Right? That's all policy. But we're not done yet. One more. It says the diaspora. Here we go. We support crime prevention and reduction initiatives established by members of whom? The diaspora, through partnerships. Right. Establish, strengthen the linkages to the United States, encourage internet, provide strategies. Here it is. Provide strategies. The diaspora, now we know. Providing strategies for the exchange of information across relevant ministries, interstate agencies, as well as international development partners to address transnational criminal activities. So here it is. And I'm saying you have taken a personal decision that, look, I'm not going to be involved with their policies and all of that stuff. And that's fine.
Yes.
But what I'm saying to you is that the policy says otherwise. The policy says,
but you're saying the same thing that I'm saying. Because, all right, listen to this. What do? Let's start. How do you reduce crime? Because head-on you know, fighting is not necessarily the crime strategy.
How do you reduce crime in Jamaica?
How do you reduce crime? Approach things that are not necessarily criminal related. Education, providing food, providing opportunities, all of these things, right? So what do we do?
No.
Hold on. Let me just finish. Let me hear you. Just hold your thoughts. All right. So if I believe that if I can change the course of the life of a child who's at risk of becoming a criminal later on, if I can change that course of that child, I believe 20 years down the line that one less criminal is on the street. That's all me think, right? So me believes that the people with the most power in Jamaica are teachers. I believe that teachers can create a life with the right support from other government agency. Teachers can create you and me and the other people out there that are doing well. And so we, as an organization, first entered into education in building teachers' capacities so that when we teach them, when we take them here for 5 days, or we go there for 5 days, and we teach them skills that they're not necessarily accustomed to seeing or accustomed to using, then what they do, they take the skills that we are teaching them, or we take them on tours and show them different way of pedagogy, then they'll take it back to their schools and start to implementing those. They may not implement everything, but we give them everything so that even if they take 10%, 20%, they did not have in the first place. I believe that our chances of advancing 20 years, reducing crime 20 years, starts with our children who are at the first primary, basic school, secondary schools, and our church level. That's how we see what we do. All right? So I look at the policies and I say, I am not going against the grain. If this policy is what you have, it's already a law. So I am going to work within that policy, but not against it. That's how we.
So hold on. If the go ahead, Ratty.
All right, Leo.
Yes.
You said reducing crime starts with our children.
Yes.
No, and you gave an example about all the things that you need to do, all the things we've heard from the psychologists and the sociologists and all of these wonderful educated people about how to deal with crime. And they say, start with the children, start with the homes and this and that. No, to me, that is like you're at the edge of the river where the river runs into the sea. And you know, it come down with the alluvial deposits and everything, and you have a filter and you have to try to filter it out to get water, right? And I'm saying, well, wait a minute, hold on a second. There's a reason, there's a source for that alluvial, right? The silt, the soil. It's coming from a source. Why not go further upstream and find out the source of that? Instead of staying downstream and after you use filter after filter and you're still getting dirty water, why not go upstream and find out what's the source of that silt, of that? And you know where I'm going with this.
Yes,
here's how you start. Here's how you start with dealing with crime in Jamaica. You get rid of those damn corrupted politicians, because no matter how much you instill and invest in children, as long as you have corrupt people at the top, they will become their influencers. And some of them, even with the biggest education, them can't get a job. Them look and say, but look, I'm a thief though. Look, my minister a thief. My minister don't even have my education. And
but let me ask you, right, Wilfred, how do you get rid of those politicians? Because they are there and they're executing the policies, right?
No, we are talking here.
Because me have my solution, you supposed to have a solution now. So you tell me.
Leo, you ever hear of something called the One Jamaica Legal Defense Foundation?
Oh, you do that?
I just asked, have you heard of it? Eh?
Yeah, yes, I do.
Have you made a contribution to it, Leo?
No, but I'm just telling you. You need to tell, but you should tell me what it. Yes, tell me.
No, here's why, Leo. Because if you heard the term One Jamaica Legal Defense Foundation, there's usually an explanation right behind it. So that means you now watch my program. Because if you don't watch my program, you would hear.
I must admit that I don't. I really don't.
Jeffrey
Okay, but I've heard about
but hold on here. But I want to ask Mr. Gilling this.
Let me answer the question.
If you have
So tell me.
No, let me answer the question.
I want you to answer.
First of all, Leo. First of all, you have to tell me if you agree with me that it's not enough to take care of the children. You have to take care of the.
I totally agree with you. I am saying that's what I do.
Right.
That's my approach, right?
No, here's how we do it in the one, and I'm pleading with you to watch the program this Saturday and whenever you can. Actually, you can go and watch it on YouTube because it's archived there, right? But here's how we do it at the One Jamaica Legal Defense Foundation. We start out with lawsuits. First thing, right? Where we find corruption, we say, okay, we're going to bring it to the courts. And this is something that we're doing with much regularity that people haven't seen. The second thing is we're doing deep dive background investigations into some of these corrupt politicians. We're finding out where their monies are, where their investments are, and we're either going to take it to the US government, the FBI, they have an international corruption unit, or we're going to take it to the Congress where they can use the Magnitsky for kleptocracy, corruption, and human rights abuse, like the state of emergency, the unconstitutional state of emergency, where they took people off the street and detained them unlawfully, and now they're paying out millions, right? Third, we do protests where we bring awareness to the issue. International, local, regional awareness to the issue to say this is what the government is doing and it should not be done, and we're bringing pressure to them. Fourth, we go to the international donors and the donor agencies, donor governments, and we said, look, remember you give Jamaica $10 million for build a clinic? Well, guess what? There's no clinic there. Or there is a clinic, but them tell you them will build a 5-room clinic, and when we go down, we see a 2-room clinic. So we need to start exerting some more oversight on that, right? Then we also, next thing we do is go and talk to, this is an election year, and in June, we're going to meet with our elected representatives in Congress, and we're going to talk to them about the Magnitsky Act, where we're going to have them bring Jamaica under the microscope. And when I say bring Jamaica, not the country, but the politicians, as you're aware, the crooked ones. There are some good politicians, not very many, because they follow by example. Some of them went in with all the good reasons, but them see them turn a teeth and them just, there's an extra
spot. Rural reading it.
Right. And so these are some of the things that we are doing to highlight it, right? Now you can continue working with the children. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I'm saying that that in and of and by itself cannot do it. Cannot do it. We need to get rid of the people at the top. Look, Leo, you're aware of the 1.7 trillion that them can't, no accounting for that, right? And just the other day, a little after COVID, they got 750 million US dollars in loans from the IDB, IMF, and the World Bank. And the money was supposed to be spent on 2 communities: business community to keep the economy afloat, and poor people, right? And what did the government do? Them say, if you're a poor man, you have to have internet, you have to have a laptop, you have to have a bank account, you have to have this, you have to, how many poor people, especially my people, them come from St. Elizabeth and St. Anne, them don't have them thing there, so them don't get no money. Now here's what the wickedest thing that's gonna happen to them. The money came in for them, they didn't get it, but guess what? Them and them picnic and them grand picnic gonna have to pay back that loan. Now, Leo, how much more wicked can you get as a government when you do that to your people? So that's why we're advocating.
Let me ask this: that 750 million, where did it go?
I thought
I thought you did. No, I thought you did some digging up to find out where did it actually go, so that you can say to me, Leo, this is supposed to go yourself. Yeah. No,
here's what happened, Leo. We did some digging up, We have facts and figures from PIOJ, And right now, with my untrained brain and eye for numbers and things like that, when I look at it, I don't see no mention of it. So what we're going to do, the One Jamaica Legal Defense Foundation, we're going to hire a forensic accountant to look at the numbers put up a spreadsheet and tell us where all the money go, because PIOJ is a clearinghouse for loans and grants and technical services. Everything that comes to Jamaica, 90 something percent of everything that comes to Jamaica, it goes through PIOJ, and they've set up the policies and everything like that. And I have sources within PIOJ who tell me that they don't do a good job in terms of oversight. And we also know that once the politicians hear them are like shark, harbor shark, once them hear say things are coming, them not go far, them stay right next close to the harbor. And once them hear say money are coming, them either farmer consultancy, or them have them friend, or them relatives, or them gingeration farm consultancies, and I saw the money go. Because here's what I've been told, Leo. They said that for every dollar, and this is coming from people inside and outside Jamaica, they said for every dollar donor funds come in, 70% supposed to go to the end user and 30% for administrative costs. And I've been told by very reliable and reputable sources, plural, that in Jamaica it's the reverse. 70% going up people's pocket and 30% go to the end user.
All right.
Hey, Leo,
this is a good argument in the sense that let me just respond to him. It's a good argument, but I want you to understand that I will respect everything you do in your strength. My strength is what I do to help and to help defray the problem.
Well, let me just say this.
Right? So I am not saying that what you do is wrong. In fact,
no, we're having a discussion. We're not going to watch it right.
Let me just finish. I really appreciate the perspective that Wilfred just gave a while ago, right? Because he came to me with facts and said, "This is what I want." That's a particular path that you're going to take to reduce crime through corruption, right? So my role is to reduce crime through kids. That's all.
Yeah, but listen, man, you cannot approach it in a piecemeal.
I don't know that
way.
Is this piecemeal also?
No, because you can't give me breakfast and leave me.
No. What Wilfred has just pointed out a while ago is also piecemeal. Because Wilfred could tell me that he wants to put more policemen on the force and make more people out on the road. So it's also piecemeal, but everybody together can make a difference.
And this is what I'm saying. At a Diaspora conference, if you have you, Wilfred, Brother Tavares, and somebody with different perspective and says, how are we going to make this fruit cake? And we put it together and you get a fruit cake. But let me just add one thing Wilfred just meant. I didn't, remember that you are involved in it. I'm almost positive. 2020. Didn't we have a radiothon where collect 200 and something thousand US with Shaggy and all them people on it to buy buy PPE equipment?
I remember that.
Have you ever wondered how many PPE equipment have been bought?
I did.
Yeah, how much?
Have you asked about it?
No.
Why?
But why would I? I mean, you ask about it. What answer you going to get?
Huh? You get answers.
You don't get any answers. I
got answer.
What I've learned is Patrick, is that if I don't have the skill to attack something and make a resolution out of it, I'm not going to be bothered with it.
But listen.
I don't have the skill. I don't know where to go. Hold on there. I don't know where to go.
Mr. Gilling.
Hold on.
Mr. Gilling.
Tavares, hold on. I don't know where to go. If I ask the question, where did that money go? The only thing I'm going to hear is it went to the general fund.
Right.
And then that's it. I don't have access to the general fund. What am I going to do?
No, but if somebody is in charge, said the money that the United States is involved with, collected, was sent to you, Leo Gilling, in Jamaica, and you can't say it by one.
It went to government.
It went to buy to you collect money in the United States.
No.
I'm not a lawyer. and maybe will you back me up? If you collect money
Listen,
within this
I did
United
not ask the
States,
question, but
and
I
it
do
is-
know, I did not ask the question, but I do know the answer to the question was that it went to the general fund.
the consolidated fund,
Absolutely.
which is illegal.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, because
know
you
yet.
can't, in the United States, your 501c3 cannot send money to a government agency.
No, you're not
Right.
supposed to.
So we collected the money. It was fraudulently put into a government agency. It's illegal here. So whoever is in charge here is liable to be prosecuted if somebody go up and start making.
Then that's your strength. That's your strength, and I think you should you should appease yourself.
Hold on a second, Leo.
Yes.
When the question was first put to you, you said you don't know where the money go, right? Then later on you say it's a consolidated fund. I'm writing it down because I was going to ask you, how do you know?
The person asked me, he asked me if I asked a question. And I said, no, I said,
all right, so you did not, how did you know the money went? How did you know the money got to the consolidated
because
fund?
I asked the question of person.
Him asked, you asked the question and he said no. Him asked if did
sorry, I'm so sorry. You're right. I did not ask the question, but I know the answer.
We have hold on there for me, gentlemen. Hold on there for me.
I did not ask the question, but I know the answer.
Hold on there for me, gentlemen. I have with me joining us.
The answer drew question in my mind, but I don't want
to.
Right.
Before we bring on Luke George, my brethren, hold on 1 second. Let me just ask Leo another question. No, Leo. You said to Patrick that you don't have the skill to do certain things, and so you stay away from things that you don't have the skill.
Yeah, as far as Jamaica is concerned, yes.
Right. Yeah, Jamaica we are talking about now.
All right.
Now, are you familiar with the Access to Information Act?
And in New York?
No. In Jamaica. Tell me truthfully now. Truthfully.
So here goes. About 3 years ago or 4 years ago, there was an act in Parliament that kind of blocked certain parts of that act. And so therefore, what I do, Wilfred, if I need to find something that I want to go to statistics department, and I want to find something that I go to a teacher or a police officer or a nurse, I go directly to them. That's my strength.
All right.
I don't deal with the way that you deal with things.
But
that is your strength.
Yeah, but Leo, you answer a question me never ask, or me ask a question. Because the simple I just ask, are you familiar with the ATI?
That's because you're getting into areas with me that I don't want to talk.
Mr. Gilling, answer the question, yes or no, sir. Are you familiar with it?
I'm familiar with it, of course.
Yes, okay. All right, hold on for me now. I have a call online, and I also have Luke George Cook. Luke, welcome to the program.
Who is Luke? Did you say Luke?
Luke George Cook, human rights activist. Mr. Cook?
Okay, it's 8:38 now, and I'm 8 minutes past the time that I'm supposed to be here. So but get quick with that one, okay?
Don't tell me you're going away, Gillian. The kitchen is so hot, you're running away?
I have to. You took up an hour and a half of my time already, more than an hour of my time.
But no, but you say you come on the program to talk to us.
Of course, I've done so much talking. I have, but I have work to do too.
Oh,
so
okay.
Let me hear the question from Luke.
Luke George Cook, are you there?
I didn't have any question. Obviously, the discussion started before me. I think the matter of raising money and it's going to government when it is raised for charity is dishonest. And we don't need.
I'm going to leave this discussion now because I don't want to get into this part of the discussion. All right?
Why?
So bear with me.
Jeffrey, that's fine.
I came here to talk about diaspora and diaspora.
But this is a part of the diaspora, Mr. Gillen. Money has been sent to Jamaica, and it's accountable for.
I was never involved in any collection of monies from anybody for Jamaica in that particular transaction. So I don't know enough to talk about it. So I want to leave you guys. But Will, I really enjoyed you. Thank you so much, and we can always have a conversation. All right.
Likewise, my brother. Hey, Leo, I hope you support the One Jamaica Legal Defense Foundation.
I will listen to you.
This Saturday.
I will listen to you.
All right, my brother.
All right. I get to meet you. I'd
love to have you on too as a panelist one of these days.
Yeah,
when you're free,
let me know. All right.
All right.
Goodbye, dear.
They can't tell me goodbye, everyone gone.
Oh, Tavares and Patrick.
What happened to you? The kitchen get too hot for you?
No, man, not at all. I just don't want to.
So why
I
you
just have to
running?
go. I have to go. I'm doing a degree that I need to do work with. What are you talking about,
Okay.
man? Come on. Yeah.
All right, big boss. Thanks
Take
for coming
care.
on.
Yeah, man.
Thank you. We have with us on telephone. Lion, you there with us same way? Hold on there. What's going on here? We're not even Lion now. Oh, hold on. I think there's something going on with my system here. Luke?
Jeffrey,
Yes. You have Wilfred Rattigan and Patrick on the platform here with us. Mr. Gilling run gone.
Jeffrey, look here. One of the things you must recognize in any conversation is when people starts to deflect and they start to treat it as if it's a laughing matter. And you know, when we are telling you we have a degree that we're working on that I have to get because it's going to make us get a better job. You're here to teach, and so we have to respect people's right. Monies have been collected. The Jamaican know it, and I said the world renowned Patrick Beckford and the lawyer and the man that most people say will help to shape the direction of Jamaica and in the next paradigm shift. Patrick Beckford has made his contribution through the diaspora, but the diaspora knows. The diaspora knows. And part of the dishonesty that is making the diaspora very unattractive is the conceit and the deceit and the lie. If you remember JADEX, it was a program where foreigners even came to Jamaica under the diaspora to borrow money. And those money weren't paid back to start businesses. If you remember the story of CMU, you hear that people in the diaspora was doing bidding for the house, the president now that is facing jail time. And so you wonder if the diaspora is independent of government activity. And it's amazing for me to see learn people allow themselves to support this government in the COVID. I mean, I was then talking to diaspora members who tell me 700,000 tablet came down. When you call the ministry, people tell you we don't know anything about that. But and at different point, they raised X amount of money to help with COVID exercise, and there was no accountability. And the show has to go on the road. Where we are now, as we're sitting here, the government of Jamaica is going to try to overturn the ruling of the Constitution Court. Nobody can tell us really and truly why Paula Llewellyn is supposedly the best ever DPP in the country. And one has to wonder if and when the illicit six are named. Rattigan probably can answer this because I was trying to find the information today. Can the DPP say once the matter has been mentioned or is to be brought up for prosecution that she's not going to prosecute these people, hence ending any further discussion of these people ever facing jail time for
Mr. Rattigan, I'll answer you now.
Absolutely. I'm looking for the
You're talking a bit too low, Mr. Rattigan. Turn up your mic for me.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yes, look, George, the DPP is the ultimate prosecutor in Jamaica. And DPP under the Constitution has the right to start a criminal case, to end a criminal case, and to take over a criminal case. So even if you have the corruption prosecutor suggesting or approving the trial of any politician, the DPP has the constitutional right to step in and take it over and just end it. And there's nothing anyone can do in Jamaica because that's her right under the Constitution. I'm trying to find the particular section at 93 something. I'll find it. Keep talking, Jeffrey. I'll find it.
Let me, Luke, let me ask this question though. We were talking about diaspora, and you know, I like when you segue into the whole DPP thing, but let's go back to the diaspora a minute here, please. Patrick.
I'm hearing.
Sir Patrick.
Yeah.
Can you tell us how much money was collected to buy PPE?
I know it was over 300,000 US dollars was collected on the Radathon. Okay, over 300,000 US dollars. That was confirmed to me by the then chairman of the health fund. Because when I it's like sometimes the mad side of me tap me and I'm saying, but wait, I call around a few places and says, and everybody said, no, it's a call the health fund chairman. When I spoke to him, he gave me a song and dance that the money was not used because he was directed. Well, he didn't say that to me, but he said the money was mixed up. But then on a radio program with Irwin here in New York, he said the money, he was instructed by the Minister of Finance to put the money in the consolidated fund. And yeah, that caused him, after he and I spoke, he promised he was going to call back. That caused him to resign from the position.
So is the same thing happened to the CMU money? It went to the consolidated funds though? Mr. Rattigan, make a be myself. Answer
no,
Luke George.
Mr. Gilling could have answered too because I'm good friend.
let me just go back to the question raised by Luke George. It's in it. The answer is contained in section 94, subsection 3A, B, C of the Constitution, and I'll read it. It says, "The Director of Public Prosecutions shall have power in any case in which he considers it desirable so to do, A, to institute and undertake criminal proceedings against any person before any court other than a court martial. 2, to take over and continue any such criminal proceedings that may have been instituted by any other person or authority. And 3, to discontinue at any stage before judgment is delivered any such criminal proceedings instituted or undertaken by himself or any other person or authority." So essentially what it says is the DPP can start a case, except cases involving court martial, military, JDF. They have their own legal construct. The DPP can start the case. The DPP can take over the case. So even if the corruption prosecutor recommend prosecution and start a prosecution, the DPP can step in and take it over. And 3, the DPP can step in anytime before the jury or a judge renders a judgment, can step in and just discontinue the case. So can start a case, end the case, take over a case. So that's very, 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 very powerful. And by the way, people will need to tune in this Saturday because we're going to do a piece on the DPP and also the acting DPP. And we're going to show all kinds of, wranglings and foolishness and all kinds of things going on over there.
But Mr. Rattigan,
And I'm glad you can.
Hold on for a minute, Luke. Mr. Rattigan, I get to understand that the former supposedly former DPP is at her office every day.
The former DPP, it has been reported to me by reliable and credible sources that she's still going to the office. She was seen there yesterday and she's having meetings. I don't know why, because the moment the court ruled what should have happened, the security should have said, listen, if she's outside the office, they said, you can't come back in. We will take your personal items and we will deliver them to your home.
There you go.
Can't come back in the office. And they should change the code, change the locks, so she can't come back in. That's what should have happened. They should have never let her come back in the office for anything.
So Mr. Rattigan, that means it. Well, let me not say, but it look like some hanky panky going on. Luke George, go. Mr. Cook?
Unmute.
It seems like some hanky-panky going on at the DPP office now, Mr. Rattigan.
Yeah,
That's-
we're gonna talk about all of that this Saturday and
that's
more.
why
So people
constitution
tune
was
in.
changed for somebody.
Huh?
That's why a constitution, no constitution in the world has ever changed to accommodate an individual.
But you see what they did though? They said that they're doing it also for the Auditor General.
That was a ruse, and she was far from the age.
And right. And keep in mind, the Auditor General did not write to the Public Service Commission and ask for an extension.
No.
Auditor, only one person did that. Only one person did.
But hold on, Mr. Rattigan and Patrick and Luke. The Public Service Commission was null and void at one point. So how all of a sudden the Public Service Commission no recommend to the Governor General to appoint this person? Wasn't before, but before the DPP, the former DPP, get herself involved in the constitutional affair. There was no Public Service Commission.
Yeah, right. They refused.
They did not. They denied the request for her to continue, because if you look in the ruling, the court order by the Constitution.
No, Patrick, you're misunderstanding me. What I'm saying to you, there was no Public Service Commission.
Right. No, that's what I'm saying.
It's in the middle of the night. Delroy Chuck without a chicken. Put up one.
They hurriedly put one up, but keep in mind also that the opposition had something to do with it. I think that there had to be consultation between the opposition and the leader of the opposition and the prime minister. But be that as it may, they hurriedly put one together. And I think the lady who was the chairman, I think her name is McCalla or something like that. She's back. She's back now leading it. So they put one together, which is legitimate. They put one together, and so that's how they ended up with this acting DPP. But we're gonna look at the record of this acting DPP. We're gonna look at the record of the DPP, and we're gonna make the argument that this acting DPP is as you're actually getting the DPP. You're actually, she's no different than the DPP in terms of performance.
Yeah, but Mr. Rattigan, you don't find it strange that King's Counsel, who supersedes this acting DPP in the court, was not even appointed to act, and he's senior to her in terms of ranks.
You're talking about Jeremy. Well,
yeah, why was he? He is King Counsel, so why was he looked over?
No, the king, as far as the best of my knowledge, it's just one of the provisions they look at. There are several that they look at. That's just one of them. It's an important one, but and you're right. She's not. I think she applied, but she hasn't been designated as such. Jeremy is the person. The other thing too is that based on their regulations, they're supposed to conduct interviews, and we're not sure who they interviewed, if they interviewed anyone.
And Patrick, one second, Jeffrey. Patrick, why is there no audit, or why you don't do a poll about the impact of the diaspora in Jamaica? Because it's interesting that, especially when you talk to young Jamaicans and you say to them, the diaspora has been working assiduously to build community, they ask you, who are they? You ever think as a group to do a poll to say what is the effective reach of the diaspora in the country? Because by and large, while we can think of the negative, we must also look at the positive that this group has contributed to its country. But the effect of it, how far-reaching is it being felt? And I would have wanted to think that being around for a period of time, you want to test the waters to see if people know about you and if they appreciate the contribution you guys are making.
But here's the thing that, I mean, a lot of people have good intention. The diaspora movement and the way it was organized was with good intention. But like everything else, you have people commit for their own thing. Here's one of the things that I realized that is happening. A lot of folks want to go and kind of pad their resume And I mean, if you look at a lot of folks that they leave the communities and run for higher offices, or they try to get a photograph. I know many of my friends have photographed with every prime minister and every blah 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 and every such and such and display. I don't know, it's just for ego boosting, and that's why I go back to the whole thing. One of my things what I did not continue because I can't be a puppet. I I I was involved in an organization as a young man and build the capacity of Friends of Trelawney. That we had we have an event that's going on for 30 something years that have 10,000 people that was coming there, that comes every year without any advertisement, and people feed off of it. But then, as usual, people want to think that this is making a lot of money. But what I'm just saying is that the reason why people don't know about the diaspora, because everybody think they're not educated as to what the diaspora is, because most people think that it's a club or some organization, and then the government being involved kind of turn off a lot of people, whether because they don't believe in this government or the next government or the previous government. So that's why I've been pushing to say to them, leave the government out of it, and let's build the diaspora movement inside here, because it's a piecemeal thing that they do. So somebody collect a $10 here and go donate it to one school in a Waiterbit Trelawney. Somebody contribute to $50 and go donate it to build one latrine or outhouse in a whatever, in a spa, in a you understand? So there's no organized thing to see the collective effect. The only thing that people talk about, oh, I'm from the diaspora and I want to vote because, me I pay land tax or me I send money down every month. When it's, and I think it turns off a lot of people in Jamaica, because we're saying, I am doing this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to contribute this. When it's really your family. I don't have no family that need any money down there, to speak, because most of my brothers and sisters are here and everything, and they can, independent. So what about me? I don't have any say, and that is what they use about the remittance. The government use it, and everybody then chest big up. Yes, I'm that.
And they get all of all donkey and all of all this. We have a call online. Caller, welcome to the program.
Welcome. Good evening, gentlemen. Good evening. Wake up. Hello?
Go ahead, caller.
Yes, yeah, good evening again. Welcome, gentlemen. This question is to Mr. Ratty, especially. I like it with it. The question here, may I hear say that the King George III write a letter to Mr. Onis. It's alleged, if we not get it from Ratty, signature, say the lawyer fees, the Mr. Onis pay the lawyer fee. We've got revised cartel. When I like you break it down,
in other words, what she's saying, caller, you have a next question? Caller?
Yeah, but not for right now.
Okay.
Yeah, me about no, but I want the straight and tell me.
Okay.
If it happen, and what it happen, and how it go play out. No, my mind is a university, not so I have to learn meanwhile.
Right, Mr. Rattigan, you heard the question?
Yeah. The way it works is that the Privy Council's decision.
Okay.
Yeah, the Privy Council's decision, even though it was made in an open forum, it doesn't really have effect until the King signs off on it. And then once he signs off on it, then it goes to Jamaica, to the Court of Appeal and others, and then that's when the process starts up. Because nothing could be done in Jamaica until that document reached Jamaica. Now, I'm not sure if it's very likely, to answer your question, it's very likely that costs were awarded, and that is attorney's fees. So if and I haven't seen the letter from the King, but generally speaking, they award costs in those cases, meaning that the losing side has to pay for the winning side court costs, meaning pay money to file the papers and file for the attorney's fees. So it's quite likely that that actually happened. So yeah, if it happened, it would be the government would be paying it. It wouldn't be the prime minister. It would be the government. So it would be the DPP. The office of the DPP would be responsible for paying that. Yeah.
Right. Mr. Ratigan, let me ask you this question though, as we're on the DPP. When you look at the how should I put this now? The DPP came on national radio and admitted to the people of Jamaica that she has dealt with tainted jurors before. Do you think that based on all of this and she was sitting there unconstitutional and all sort of shibangarang, do you think that because apparently our Attorney General is no longer Attorney General because what is going on with the Delaware truck, it doesn't seem as if he wants to sit for the people of Jamaica. In your legal mind, sir, counsel, do you think that the DPP cases should be retried?
When you say retried, what do you mean?
In other words, the case that she has presided over before.
Oh. Well, the legal pundits have said that she illegally occupied the office when her tenure ended. Right? And when I said her tenure, I'm talking about the extension because she was supposed to leave
from September last year.
Yeah, from 63 or age 63 till now, September last year. Some people have made the argument that all of those cases should be retried or thrown out. But then there are others who said, no, it was only after the court ruled that she should have not been the DPP, that from that point, which is what, last week, anything going forward, she cannot be involved with that. But again, there's a strong argument to be made that anything that she touched, she managed, she reviewed, she approved from the time her tenure ended, September of last year till now, they're saying all of those cases are tainted. So it remains to be seen. I'm willing to bet that you'll have some defense attorney out there who's going to take this to court to say, look, you had an illegal DPP there making judgment about this particular case and it's unconstitutional. They're going to make all kinds of arguments. So I fully expect that to happen.
Jeffrey,
yes,
you have your famous question in which modern democracy this could happen. The DPP, by virtue of her statute, have made the justice system of Jamaica the laughing stock of the entire world. The government,
not only she, not only she, Mr. Cook, but also the Minister of Justice and the Attorney General.
The government of
Minister of Constitutional and Legal Affairs.
Yeah, man. The government of Jamaica, Patrick, has demonstrated youthful exuberance because it shows that if you are part of the wrong but strong crowd, the rest, the pack will go fighting for you. We have never seen this. This same DPP demise the former DPPs hosting out of the office. And if there was ever a time when you can say karma is truly the best bitch, it was demonstrated when but I would like for the country now to ask the Justice Minister and the Minister and the Attorney General, why are we paying money to fight for this woman? What value is she to the country? Is she the treasury and therefore we can't do without her? And if she goes, all our electricity, water, and food supply will be cut off because the government don't see how this look. And yesterday, Ratigan, the Prime Minister was in Parliament asking for stiffer penalties for minors who commit incidents that we think that those incidents are so atrocious. And what I didn't hear him say in the rebuttal to Mark Golding, who seemed to say, well, we need not to offer stiffer penalty, but what we really need to look at is the rehabilitation that needs to go in. So you have an army that you don't use. Is it possible that you could then have a situation where when certain infractions are committed within the youth population, that they're taken out on a program of intervention be so designed to help to rehabilitate them? So it's more of rehabilitation than serving criminal stiffer prison
Yeah.
sentences, because
Yes.
Rattigan, as an attorney, you know, in Jamaica, man go to jail as soft and come out rough like iron. I mean, when you look at a guy from Spanish Town
Mm.
said, my brother was termite, me a chinka, my other little brother or something else. Must have, I think him said duckhands, and them kill my brother and it now go
My
so.
God.
It now go so. It sends a shocking message to any well-thinking Jamaica, you know. When you look at what is happening in Spanish Town, and when you listen to what everybody has said, and you know what I find, Ratty, interesting, they have a man up UA, by the name of Mr. Dr. Andre Hilton, and you have man like Gail up there who have written papers demonstrating what level of reality. You have Hudson. I mean, you can't talk. And you do even have a brother, I know, me not even know if him drop out yet, named Rowbottom, who left the University of the West Indies, citing that politics is going to ultimately destroy us. Left and I think went to the United States and still was writing papers on how to treat with your miscreants. But why are we going for heavy prison
Let-
sentence, Ratty, when you are now demonstrating that when the government wants something, even if they have to break the law to get it, this is the same government who wants everybody to respect the rule of law. They are prepared to go out there and fight for what they want, because only this person can deliver to them what it is that they need.
let-
And
let-
and we need to look at that image that is being portrayed to the Jamaican people and ask if this whole administration and black shouldn't go, because they're not
yes.
fighting for us.
Let me say this though. Sorry to be cutting you, Luke, but there's a news coming into us. This is the second time I'm hearing this. The Minister of Water, it is alleged that the Minister of Water, Matthew Samuda, called a famous radio station in Jamaica and report a disc jockey because she was speaking about the lack of water. And now the person is no longer at that radio station. It is also alleged that the same Minister Matthew Samuda called another radio station in Western Jamaica. And because that this jockey is talking about the lack of water, that's it, that this jockey is no longer the radio station either. Well, me not talk about it. And I want you to call one of them to make we talk. I want you, Matthew Samuda and Prime Minister Holness, call the owners for the Make We Talk program. But then take me off and Make We Talk.
No, but Jeffrey, the two, if what you are saying is true, then the radio station is owned by supported member of the Jamaica Labour Party. 'Cause you can't
It's
have people
IRFM.
from
Hold
the
on for me, look. The
you
lady,
can't
see there? It's IRFM. This is what is going on in this country. You can't
you
talk
can't
about
have
these people.
people. You can't have people talk about something with them see as wrong, and then you fire them. That can't go so. So you say only the government is are the baddest gang that in Jamaica, you know, Jeffrey. 'Cause you see, them want Parla and them rather burn Rome than let Parla go. So the radio station should have take a page from the government book.
But Luke, if she gone, certain people attorney might end up in a jail, you know. I get extradited to where we live.
Well, Patrick, here's what is true. Jamaica is at a critical junction, and we need to see justice for all and not just for some. We
Yeah.
need to restore the faith of the Jamaican people. If you can't trust your justice system, Patrick, just like how you go to school at Jamaica, and them know say you can't read and write from basic school and then still send you through secondary. And when you look, Patrick, on the fight them where are going now, you know say it's like we not produce no more youth with reasoning because them can't reason out them difference, them have to fist fight though. But when you look at the parliament and you hear Miss Mala
Hello?
who said to them the other
Hold on
day,
for me, hold on for me. Luke,
Sure,
sorry.
sure.
I have a call in line. Caller, go ahead.
Yes, so my question is to Mr. Rattigan. Call for Mr. Rattigan. Some time ago, I remember on a Travis Year show or his show or Wayne show, he said he had write a letter to the king about the activities of the Governor General of Jamaica. Reason for asking these questions, these questions, we have seen where SOE go in front of the court first winning is unconstitutional. How now the Delroy Chuck or whoever that passed the DPP name to the Governor General, he just easily signed off and stuff and don't think about the constitutional infraction he's now causing in the country, along with the government.
Mr. Rattigan?
No, the caller is right. The caller is right. I did write the letter to the king. I didn't ask him for a response. I just asked him to look into the matter. I don't know if he has or if he hasn't. It would appear at this point that he has not looked into the matter. So that's why I kept saying to people, we need more people to write the letter complaining about the Governor General. And the caller is absolutely right, because the Governor General, remember now, people, we pay him upkeep, I forgot how much, it make 30-something million, and I forget how much, almost $500 million them used to run him office. And the man is useless. He's more adept at using a pair of scissors to cut ribbons than he is at cutting through some of the arguments presented to him by the government. This is the man who nobody can sue in Jamaica. And this is a man who, by title, he pays no income tax in Jamaica. And if you don't believe me, look at the tax code. The Governor General pays zero income tax, right? And he get all of this money. And he has at his disposal a wealth of advisors, including legal advisors, right? A ton of them. And he keeps making these, even after the court ruled that the states of emergency as implemented by the government were unconstitutional. The man still got signed 3 more after that. 3 more, because remember, folks, a state of emergency can only take effect if the Governor General signs off on it. If he doesn't sign off on it, the Prime Minister can talk all he wants. And that's based on the Constitution. And this man, I don't know if he's willfully doing this, or he's lost a screw or something and he doesn't understand what's going on.
But Ratty, which Governor General in Jamaica you have ever heard give an opinion against any of the atrocity that is taking place in the country?
No, there's one called Florizel Gaspol who used to speak out. He was very, very vociferous about his complaints about what the government was doing. And he was complaining about the PNP government too. And he was a PNP. And he was complaining. But apart from him, all of them are just rubber stamp.
Exactly. So that is the only one we know. And you must bear in mind that this is the same, under this Governor General, they were the ones that were in row with Shaggy for the use of the parking lot for a annual fundraising that they were asking for the proceeds from the parking lot to be given to King's House, as against continue to support the development of the the Bustamante Children Hospital.
Yes.
Yeah, good.
Sorry, Mr. Rattigan, I have a next call coming. Hello, caller. Welcome to the program.
Yeah, good night. I'm going to address the matter of the acting DPP. What I will say is that, listen, that position of the DE should be the next DPP was primed for Jeremy Taylor.
Was what?
Right? Was prime for him. I don't want to say it was like almost like, I don't want to say it was set for him, but he was in pole position to be the next DP. Right?
He?
Who was in the
From
position?
Jeremy Taylor. Right?
Okay.
He, from what my memory serves, is that he is the youngest
Prosecutor?
King's Counsel.
Okay.
No, King's Counsel. Queen's Counsel at the time to be appointed Senior Deputy Director of Public Prosecution. Right? This goes to show that that position given to the lady there right now, to me, in my view, it was like picked for her like by the former DPP. You understand what I'm saying? Because she is not qualified as Jeremy Taylor. That's number one, right? And from what I know of the current acting DPP, she listen. And what I know about her integrity is that she has integrity. You understand? She's very competent. But at the same time, Jeremy Taylor is the only one, in my view, who should be in that position. And the reason why he's not there is because even the private practice, the private bars, they all fear him. The government fears him. Jeremy Taylor is very fearless, very competent. You understand? And that is the reason why Jeremy Taylor has not been been acting in the position. Now listen, what I'm about to say to you is all, how should I put it? Is all alleged, right? But at the same time, read between the lines.
So I need to put it a disclaimer then. The views.
Listen. It is all alleged, but at the same time, read between the lines.
Yes.
About 5 years ago, I was at a certain place near the DPP's office.
Mm-hmm.
It was told by someone very close to me, that 2 investigators went to the office of the DPP to seek advice in laying charges against a certain prime minister. And what was told to those 2 investigators, police officers?
Hold on there for me now. Is it a farm
Yes.
or a present prime minister?
Listen, I will not get into that. Read between the lines. Read between the lines. I was told to those 2 officers that, listen, he is a young prime minister and give him a chance. You understand? And this is all alleged, but at the same time, read between the lines. Listen, if you go out in your backyard right now, I look on the grass, on the ground, or any tree in your backyard, the DPP is more greener than that tree. I can tell you that. And this is all alleged, but at the same time, read between the lines. That's all I have to say.
Jeffrey, look, Jeremy might be qualified, but you know one of the things, Ratty, that I don't want anybody who was affiliated with this DPP and this office to probably be the next DPP, because one of the things about justice, and Jeremy is from what we call good stock. He's the son of Reverend Burchell Taylor, quite a well-renowned Baptist minister here who preaches for 2 hours in any ceremony, but the English is so standard and the messages are always sounding like it's a dissertation. But why is it, Rattigan, you sit in an office and you see something wrong, but you don't stand up and say, especially when it comes to justice, you don't want to make your mark as being disruptive, making good trouble, because one of the things I think earlier last in the year, Jeremy was at a function bidding Paula goodbye. And from what it is alleged, Jeffrey, this, as I said, I know Paula Llewellyn. But what I know of Paula, she smiles and she's quite an educated. Competency, I'm not going to speak to competency, because if you are competent, I don't think you should have allowed your tenure to end this way. whether you are as green as the tree outside, I think that you should have had Jamaican interest at heart. I think the entire DPP office should should go, and you must recruit people in Jamaica who are not going to look on things on party basis. This is the same DPP who oversee the Cuban light bulb situation. This is the same DPP
Hold on for me,
who did
Luke.
not.
Hold on for me, Luke. Hold on for me, Luke. Sorry to be cutting. Hold on for me. I have a call in line. Caller, go ahead. Yes, caller, go ahead.
Jeffrey,
Yes, go ahead. Mm-hmm. Yes, go ahead. No, I can hear you.
yeah, man, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. I have Mr. Rattigan and Patrick and everybody else in line.
Fireman.
All right. What? Wait, where's the general?
Yeah.
All is well, rebel.
All is well, fireman.
All right. Yeah, man. I just want to weigh in quickly. You know, I was just someone called me just now. I was sharing some information with me that an announcer at IRFM was taken off air today and offered indefinite suspension. As I said, I have not confirmed it with the radio station, but I gather that the announcer was making some comment as it relates to the water situation in Negril and so on. And something may have transpired. You know, Jeffrey, you may want to dig into that some more.
I will, because I got a call today from a well-known politician in Westmoreland who said to me that it happened to another radio announcer in Westmoreland, where the western part of Jamaica, where the same Minister of Water called the radio station and threatened the radio station, I was told. And this jockey was told to leave.
Removed?
Yeah, it was removed.
I don't know. As I said, somebody, you know, it was brought to my attention. I don't know, Amber is someone I listen. I know that she's quite a strident person, very strong in her present, in her you know, she will look at the thing that impact or affect the Jamaican people and put it out there. I don't really want to raise it to any other level, but just asking and put it out there, because certainly the Fourth Estate must be allowed to perform unfettered so long as you're not defaming and libeling any individual, whether a private citizen or a member of the government or anybody in public life, you know. So once you see or any other announcer not doing that, but just asking probing question and criticize whoever it is, I can't see the reason to remove this jock, a talk show host, or anyone from a media house. But such is life. But as I said, Jeffrey, you're committed to dig into it some more, eh?
I will do that.
Good. All right. Just quickly, I believe that I may be among the first. I don't want to say I'm the first, but although I may be. But to ask a very pertinent question, and when I ask that question, no less a person than KD Knight responded to me at the time, where I asked the question, if the DPP or the former DPP, Paula Llewellyn, is she totally out of the loop? Because based on the anomaly that have been created by
You have a radio TV on in the background?
Yes, I do have a TV on. Let me get rid of it. Yes.
Remember,
all right.
Remember on mainstream media, you know?
Yeah, man, no problem. I know. you know, yes. So I love it, Jeffrey. I love it. Good. So
That said, I asked the question, based on the situation created by the Minister of Justice and indeed the Attorney General, to ask a question about the decision by the full court, and Paula basically issue a statement to say that she is unable to take up her office at this time. The question must be asked, is Miss Llewellyn somewhere lurking in the wings and still collecting her pay, or will still be paid? And what are we seeing? Are we seeing a clear vacance? Or what? Because here we have a DPP in office, but it is said that, listen, Paula is not able to occupy the office at this time, and the government is the one that basically giving succor to this. It's a very, very serious place we're at, and I think we need some clarity.
You're so correct. Thank you very much for calling in, my good friend Conrad O'Brien of New South 93 FM.
All the best. Rebel and the rest of the team, take care. Blessings.
Thank you.
I'm listening.
Yeah, man.
Good.
Big up yourself, fireman.
Mr. Gratigan, you want to comment on that, and I'll let Luke comment on it.
Well, a couple of things. One is there is a reporting for the caller who asked about whether the king signed off on the instructions requiring the government to pay costs. Apparently, it is true. It is true. And when we say government, as I've said before, government now no money, a taxpayers' money. So taxpayers now will have to pay for that. The second thing is Leo Gilling did an article in today's Observer. I think we all should read it. It came out yesterday, actually. Today, April 25th. It came out. I don't know if you saw it, Jeffrey, but you should. Eh?
I haven't.
You have it, yeah.
I have not.
You have not. I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you right now. You have it right now. It's entitled "Issues of Concern" as the biennial conference approaches. I noticed it didn't say, and it's wise for everybody to just keep in mind that it is not the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council's conference. This is a business conference. This is an exposition. So if you have money to spend and you want to meet people of the Umvumvavi, then that's where you should go. But if you don't have them kind of money and you want to listen to real issues with real solutions discussed by real real people, then tune into the People's Conference, June 16th through 19th from 7 to 10. Regarding the DPP, it's my understanding that the DPP is getting paid as a DPP because she's not on.
You mean the former DPP?
Former DPP. And then the current DPP is getting paid for acting as well. So the taxpayers getting screwed again because now they're paying for this lady to be acting and they're paying for the ousted DPP who should have been retired a while back. They're paying
for... Will, before you go any further, so since she was a senior director in the DPP office, is somebody now promoted to her office to act and is getting the salary that she should be getting?
Yeah, people would be elevated in place, at least temporarily. So it looks like if they're elevated in place, then they're being paid. That's why I'm saying that the taxpayers are getting screwed again. Now, the thing about it is that you had mentioned, Luke Judge had mentioned that they should just get somebody from outside the office. And I think somebody had mentioned, a caller mentioned Jeremy Taylor. We should not forget that Jeremy Taylor is the one who prosecuted the Vibes Cartel case. It wasn't the DPP. It was Jeremy Taylor. He was the senior, right? We are looking into the record of these prosecutors. And let me just say that there's one prosecutor that nobody has mentioned tonight, and we really should. I think she would be an outstanding DPP.
Lisa Palmer?
No.
Holder.
No.
All right, who?
Kathy Ann Pike.
She's a rebel without a cause. They're not going to put her.
I know that, well, apparently that, but I'm saying that, and
No,
anybody, if anybody wants to know.
I agree with you, but Jamaica don't promote people based on the fortitude of testicular that them have our backbone. Them promote weaklings, weaklings, and the weaklings love the promotion because they like the perks that goes with the office. I agree with you 100%, but if you can't get people to come out now for say we are asked to the whole Andrew hold this administration to go, not on party line, but the fact that you're putting your personal preferences above the Jamaican people, then but excellent choice, and I hope she don't get a lot of shellacking now that we have mentioned. But
Yes.
go ahead.
Yeah, Kathy Ann Pike, if anybody doubts what I'm saying, go look at the letter that she wrote to the Prime Minister and she wrote to everybody when this DPP thing came up. This woman has the fortitude, she has the backbone, the spine, she has everything to be independent, right? And she is independent based on, I've never met this lady, but based on everything that I've seen from her, I'm supremely confident that she would be a very good choice. Jeremy, it would be the second choice for me because there are some issues regarding some cases that he handled. But the lady who's in charge right now, we're doing a background on her cases, and I'm telling you, come Saturday when we bust out the whole thing, when we understand that there is something wrong here, because somebody with her track record should not be put in charge of the office of the DPP. Should never even be considered.
So what are you saying, Mr. Rattigan?
They said that they said that she was going to be acting for 6 months. Now, why 6 months? How do they know it's going to take 6 months to get somebody permanently in the office? Why that time period, 6 months? Why?
So hold on, Mr. Rattigan.
No, hold on, Jefferson, before me lose it. But Ratty, wouldn't they be able to table the integrity report and then it would probably refer to the office of the DPP for consideration for prosecution, and quietly in the dead of night they could just dismiss it because they won't take up a position to prosecute, and that window that they need to do that under the Legislation Act would really require about 6 months.
Well, I can do you one better than that. They wouldn't even have to table it, because under the Integrity Commission Act of 2017, the commission or the commission or the corruption prosecutor has the right to seek the opinion of the DPP, and the DPP could at that point say, you know what, forget about this case, and that's it. That's it. Here it is. I'll read it to you. Section 34 of the Integrity Commission Act of 2017. Section 34, subsection 4. Right? It says, without prejudice to the provisions of subsection 1A. And somebody might ask, what's 1A? 1A refers to the section 93, 94 of the Constitution that says that the DPP is the ultimate prosecutor. So it says, it starts without prejudice, and it cannot prejudice that because that's the Constitution, the highest law of the land. So without prejudice to that provision, the Director of Corruption Prosecutor may, acting on his own volition or upon the request of the Commission, request an opinion from the DPP as to whether or not to initiate criminal proceedings in respect of any matter that has been referred to him under this act or any other enactment or on a point of law. Then subsection 5 says, where a difference of opinion exists between the DPP and the Director of Public Prosecutions in relation to a matter referred to the DPP pursuant to section 4, which is what I just read, it says, the opinion of the DPP shall prevail and be binding. So, So what happened is that the corruption prosecutor doesn't have to take the case from the Integrity Commission to Parliament. The corruption prosecutor can take it straight to the DPP, and the DPP can say, you know what? Nah, you're not going to prosecute it, and that's the end of it. And guess what? Nobody would know.
So the time
Because
period, the time period, then Mr. Rattigan would be, they would have need the 6 months. But was it this lady, the same lady who prosecuted the young man who was alleged to have killed his stepmother and he walked free?
Exactly, and that's just one case. We're going to talk about all of them this Saturday, but that's just one case where the woman was shot in church, the back of the head. The guy who's responsible, who allegedly they claim now allegedly responsible for that, walked free.
All right. Well, Jeffrey, what I tell you already said in what democracy this can happen in Jamaica. The law is for us. It's for is for those of us who are below crossroad, because the ones above crossroad don't play by the same rule. They don't respect the same constitution.
And let me just say that the person who pulled the trigger, that person is in prison. But the person they're claiming who organized it, her stepson, I believe, a relative who organized it, that person walked free. Jackie Thomas, what are we may have time for go dig up things about the woman? Jackie, no, you know what, Jackie is well-meaning, well-placed Jamaicans who reach out to me and provide me with the evidence. A lot of the things you hear me talk about is not because of any particular skill is of mine. It's people who just tired of the nonsense in Jamaica. And them say, Rattigan look like a man we can trust and we can work with. We're going to send him the information. And that's how things get done. Because not
I think Jackie was complimenting you, that you have this wealth of knowledge, because I can't see Jackie saying, why would you not do that if we're talking about the protection of our democracy?
No. But let me just make a commentary to support what Jackie said, to compliment what she's saying, add to what she's saying, and saying, Jackie, it's not just me alone. It's people who reach out to me and them give me the information. And I encourage. This Saturday we're going. The email is up and running. So we're going to announce the email so people can actually reach out to me now, provide me with documentation, provide me the information, and so we can look into what's going on. So that's where we are.
But Ratty, you think that they could have advertised for us to get a DPP from within the diaspora, somebody who would have standing in the court and having a deep appreciation for the Constitution? I understand earlier on when Patrick said, we shouldn't be just lobbying for voting, but we should really be more active, because initially when this thing started out, and I really wanted to go back to Patrick on that, to say that why is it that the forerunners gave up to this new band of people who seem to be using the diaspora as a networking industry, instead of the group of Jamaicans who are able to speak freely because you are not connected to one of the political powers, and you really have the Jamaica attack. Because when you look at Jamaica and a whole, the brand Jamaica is it's still big on the world stage.
They might mash it up though.
They asked me to change it.
They might mash it up.
Okay.
Patrick, I respond, Ratty.
Patrick.
Yeah. Yes, I'm good. Thanks.
All right. So you changed it so you can know you don't want to change it for the Wi-Fi again?
Yeah. All right.
All right, Patrick.
What?
Any other?
Ratty, in the ruling, the Attorney General office is saying that the jurist might have overlooked certain things and might have not understand And have you seen a copy of the ruling?
I'm here, Ratty.
Ratty?
Can't hear you.
No,
Can't
minute.
hear you, Ratty. You hear me?
Yeah. Look, John, sorry about that. We don't get a call. Yeah. I was just trying to look for the requirements. I've seen it someplace. The requirements for being considered for the DPP. I was looking for the requirements. I'll find it for Saturday.
No,
Go ahead
but
with the question.
the jury, I'm going to go back to Patrick. The Attorney General office is purporting that the judge might have made a ruling without understanding some aspect of what should have been looked at. Would you say that this ruling was overlooked and this judge seemed to have been out of step with what really and truly was presented before the court?
No, it's very simple for me. You only need to look at the role and responsibility of the Attorney General. Who is the Attorney General? Meaning the office. What purpose does it serve? It serves to represent the government. So I'm not surprised that they're fighting this tooth and nail, because I couldn't see them saying, "Oh, you know what? The court is right, and therefore we're not gonna appeal." I just don't see them doing that, because if you go back and you look at their purpose and you look at who they don't serve the people of Jamaica, the Attorney General. No.
Oh, okay. Patrick, earlier on, me that asked you if you want to rebrand the Diaspora. Me that say if you want to rebrand it, could it start working with the Jamaican people for a better Jamaica, as against coming to a conference every year to network and get your picture taken with those who are in power? And since you are able in the diaspora to speak a little bit more free than us here at home, because you know, so them can't send a man come shoot me when I sit down right now. So me I'll have to turn off my location when me attack you and come off a camera a little bit, because I've been on this show and I've been in public and people seem to know me and I say, "Oh yeah, fight against the labor right." And so I just smile. Most of the days now I just smile, because I really not into any argument with no Labour and PMP. I'm just so tired of the two toxic party and the fact that people don't see what I see. When you
Yeah.
come out and you talk about we create more jobs for young people. Window wiping is a job, Patrick. Can you buy a
No,
house as a window wiper?
no, well,
Why
unless
did
it's
you even commission a survey to include window wipers?
yeah, but you know, one of the problem, Luke, though, you know, I think honestly, that's why I want the movement, the diaspora council, to be independent. That's one. So you can speak, because none of them can go there and be bold enough to say, listen, me, the corruption stinks in this country. You know, how can you have a case where someone was murdered in a house with no signs of entry, and the particular homeowner was put on bed rest for a couple of weeks? And is that one of the reasons why? Because I mean, I'm not a lawyer, but I learned about the profession and how it operates. One thing I learned about in jurisprudence is that a prosecutor, any prosecutor, his or her role is to ensure that justice is done in any particular case. Right? Mr. Rattigan, maybe can tell me if I'm saying the right things. That's what they are. A prosecutor, when you see prosecutors are saying they win so many cases, that's wrong. A prosecutor is representing we the people. And so if that prosecutor know that Patrick is not guilty, and when they check and do the investigation, they shouldn't put Patrick to trial to win a case, because that is going against what prosecutors are supposed to do, run from the government. And so and I'm not even speaking about Jamaica, even where I live, the whole thing about prosecutors being elected and going around and said they prosecute so many cases and win so much cases. That is so wrong, in my opinion, in from my view of what the law is supposed to do. So here in Jamaica now it becomes we have a club of untouchables, so to speak. And therefore, we have people, whether from law enforcement or the prosecutorial sides or whatever, even defense, I know part of we want to get in that club. And that, so to hell with it, I met a lady accidentally in Jamaica in tears when she talked about her son who was coming, got a job in Montego Bay. One of the call center was doing so well, they promoting, and he went to the ATM and police just locked him down because he was going late at the ATM for money, and him spend most of 6 months till our son mad. You understand? And we have governor generals and everything sign off again to have more of that, because according to now the people above crossroads, their children are not subjected to anything. So, I mean, it is nauseating for me to see that one of the things as a practice of my faith in a lot of ways, to see once the Jamaica where I grew up in the 70s, where the churches were very vocal, stand up for justice and for the poor.
These churches nowadays,
the church
Patrick,
against it.
Patrick, these churches nowadays, Patrick, they can't speak about anything because they're in the back pocket of the people of the Vumvovan, the Vumvovi, and the people in the Parliament of Jamaica. Because when they have these prayer breakfasts, they go there and they chick champagne glass and they chat all sort of nonsense. And oh, Almighty God, come down and bless our Prime Minister.
All the officers, them like to preach paradise, that when you're dead, you'll experience like a paradise. But give me an offering and live in absolute poverty.
There you
That's
go.
They are part of the group of Alibaba and the 40 Thieves. So you have politicians, and then you have the security forces, then you have the private sector, all malignant cancer on the society. But Patrick, what may I say? Me surprised though as a diaspora group when me look on Hillary Clinton and Madeleine Albright go one Chinese country and walk out at a conference go talk to the ordinary people. Have it never dawned on the diaspora to just walk out of some of these conferences?
No, they can't do that.
Why?
The people below crossroad are beneath them. And on that note, you're gonna say
no, but Jeffrey, all right. This when Patrick Beckford was, I met Patrick Beckford a couple of years ago. I never call him honorary. Patrick Beckford. When did the title of honorary as a diaspora member, as a representative of the Diaspora Council, become available? That no, you're calling is honorary. I mean, nobody used that title more than Peter Gracie, and every time I hear it, I just wonder if this man just wanted something to feel important. If the fact that he's an high achiever was
to get order for donkey and order of bad order behind the name.
But Beckford, going back to my point, if una don't want to talk to us that because we are beneath, and that's what Jeffrey said, beneath crossroad, wouldn't you want to think that with all of the efforts and the time that you have invested in saying that I am a Jamaican by birth and I still love and believe in the country of my birth. That there are structures within the government that could have facilitated such a thing. Because Una have the parish development committee who is supposed to represent the district development committee under the SDC structure. And the district development committee is supposed to represent the community development committee in the area. So it takes into account all the liquor youth clubs, all the liquor senior citizen program, all the community group, all the business people in that group. Why aren't you talking to them? Because they're desperately crying out for a lifeline.
Yeah, but look, the problem is that, and it's a structure that they have, and when you have an election, for example, in the Northeast, you have 1 million people, and you're gonna get 93 votes, and your chest big and broad, and have the biggest hairstyle and all and stuff there, and a long frock, and they go and such and such blah blah blah. We lose what it is all about, because once you forget what's your mission. Your mission is try to effect change, and from what you see, from what you grew up in Jamaica, and you learn something more in a first world country and can go back to it. I give you a piece. I think I share it Ratty this week. I wrote a manifesto part on tourism, right? And where do I get? I didn't go to any school to learn this, but in my positions here, I was a board chairman for a particular nursing home. Been at conferences and understand certain things. And when I look at the way we do tourism, and then I leaped into a certain particular business, trying to, for full disclosure, trying to recruit some people to come and work in the United States.
Patrick, I'm cutting you off. Can you just a little faster for me, please, because I have a call in line here.
Okay, go. Yeah. Well, no, what I was just saying really is that from that I gleaned some policies that I figured more or less that the tourism sector should utilize, because I know there's an apartheid system with the tourism workers from Jamaica, right? And I don't see anything. And the person I send it to never responds. Somebody who saw it and said, "Man, gosh, how comes this is not that this doesn't become part of a manifesto or anything?" Because it makes sense, and but we're not looking at that. We're just looking at the fluff things as leaders in the diaspora who are a part of the Diaspora Council, instead of going to the meat and grind and say, "Oh, I'm gonna have somebody and in Waterhouse,"
All right.
Don't throw shit for Ratty, but before you go to the call, Patrick.
Hold on, look. This call have been waiting a while. Caller, go ahead for me, please. This is the last call for the night.
We're talking about diaspora, and I will say this categorically clear. If we were to go to Miami Garden, you go to Lauderhill, you go into West Palm Beach, you go into New York, you go into Brooklyn, and you ask people from Jamaica who lives in the diaspora if they know of anybody that represent the diaspora in the United States. And we are going into urban areas where Jamaicans live. I will say this to say that today, right here in Lauderhill, there was a grand opening for a particular shop, okay, a restaurant or a patty shop. And every heads of state of Jamaica, Jamaicans who lives here, the heads of state, the local politicians from the state level, from the local level, all were there. And I will ask to say this. What about the regular grocery Jamaicans operated store, Jamaican restaurants Where are the support for that? And I will say this in closing, all of this diaspora argument and heads and representative, it's all for self-interest. Most people that live here as Jamaican don't even know where the Jamaican consulate is located in any state in the United States, much less a particular city. You understand? It is all about a certain set of people who are in it for their own political advancement. And this is the real topic that we need to have the conversation about. What are they doing for the people who live in the diaspora? People who are in the diaspora, literally Jamaicans who don't have no green card, who are sleeping in their parking lots across this country, especially, I said this to you, Jeff, if you go by Oakland Park and 441 right now, you will find Jamaicans living in a parking lot in their cars. Not one, not two. You understand? Until we start to deal with Jamaicans who are in the diaspora suffering, this is 100% a BS. It's all about cocktail parties and put your foot on the table and being invited to these functions. And who does it benefit? The persons who head these organizations. They don't do nothing. They are regular Jamaicans who go back to Jamaica and give back. People who don't know of anybody in their local communities. These are the people that we need to highlight. These are the people that we need to strengthen. Not these organizations who are getting major funding. I hear someone talk about Jamaicans having business here in the United States. I want to say there's a lot of Jamaicans here who are wealthy, who have earned money out of the Jamaican community, and God bless what they put back in certain communities in Jamaica, even right here. I tell you again, go to these local parking lots, go into these areas and see in the stores. If you go down by Broward Boulevard at restaurants and 441, Jamaicans are there begging every day. And these are people that who needs help. Where are the help coming from? These people can't go to Uncle Sam because most of these people are out of status, are not in status whatsoever. Why we don't try to help these people?
Jeffrey,
Why don't we try to help these people? And every day we talk about diaspora. They need to jump over a cliff and find the bottom of the ocean.
Jeffrey, is that Garfield Reed?
Same one, Garfield Reed, yes.
Garfield, when did you become the next Wilfred Rattigan and radically jump off a cliff?
But Garfield, my friend, let me say this. You're all a part of the diaspora movement, and that's what I mentioned earlier on. The diaspora movement, all of us who are from a particular region go back. It starts from another Bible, but and one of the things I preached a sermon on Jeremiah 29 once talking about the diaspora, and I said, I don't like that song by the rivers of Babylon where we sat down and where we were. Remember Zion. Don't remember Marthabury River or Negril River and everything. Remember, get involved within the community, work together, learn to speak their language, integrate with them, marry their daughters and all that. That's what Jeremiah 29 was saying to the people. And so it's easy to say that the diaspora is not doing anything. You use the word we, which a lot of times, which I recognize and I love, because we are the persons and everything. But we can't wait on somebody to take the lead. If we see the thing, get somebody else to come with the eyes. Why, we identify two Jamaicans around there who XYZ, right? The particular thing is that there's a little selfishness among us as folks, because I can give you a perfect example. Many years ago, when I just came and I here and everything, and in a position that I want to start a family, wanted to get a house or something like that. I didn't know everybody I go to tell me, say, man, make a $50,000 I put on for the house and all and stuff there, right? Because they want to feel that he's about he or she, they're above you and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I look at my wife and I say, wow, the amount of money what we earn when you save up that $50,000 down payment. And it's somebody at my job, we're talking one day and walk me through the process. You see, when I learned this, everybody within my circle was able to buy a house, because we learn. I learned something and I share. So that's the biggest thing, is that when, you know, I tell everybody, I don't want to be rich. I want all my friends them to be rich around me. You understand? That's my philosophy.
Yes.
Because then when some rich around me, I know
I,
it's about.
you know, I'm so happy you said that, because I'm so happy you said that, because Wilfred, with the 750,000 Jamaica who has crossed into the United States, and most of them can't afford attorney. You would have thought that every other community has organized themselves and is trying to get representation and trying to help them people to settle. Because while we know some of them come there and them are troublemaker and them want to mash up the brand, there are a lot of Jamaicans who are trying to flee because of adversity that they face in their own country.
Mm-hmm.
But you never
Yes.
really hear anybody organize themselves and I deal with them. So I'm so happy that my friend Garfield come and say many of them tonight, and that is one of the reasons why when you talk to some of these people about getting involved with Jamaica, when them remember what they had to endure to just get a little piece of the rock somewhere. So I'm glad when somebody put in at the chat, windscreen wiper New York get 35,000, Jamaican windscreen wiper get 20,000. Sir, you know, sometimes I would like us to go check the facts. The windscreen wiper Jamaica man come out a car and I'll shoot them and I'll spit in them face, you know. But why not? We win that nowadays when we say a windscreen wiper. So how much of them I make $20 a day? And what $20 a day can do in Jamaica? So look here. We have to have the compassion and the tolerance. All views must contain. But the truth of the matter, Patrick, big up to you, Rattigan, Jeffrey, and everybody else on this platform who still go to your communities, who still help the little gentleman. Jacqueline, you asked me a question and I'm gonna answer. The information about the PDC, the DAC and the CDC can be gotten from the SDC office. From the SDC office. If you're ever doing a community project, you can ask SDC for the local. And if you're having a challenge, I can send a list to Jeffrey that he can look at. It lists all the community groups and so forth, churches in the area and so forth. There was a time, Patrick, when I made a suggestion to the diaspora that they were to look at forming an organization called the Jamaica Diaspora Redevelopment Foundation, and that they were to set up office in Cornwall, Middlesex, and Surrey. And so they're working at the county level. You're taking on things that are happening at the county level, and therefore you're putting in your support at the county level. And I've said it to Jeffrey, Patrick, that Wilfred Rattigan should write and get some bright-minded people to look at what part of the
Luke, sorry to be
constitution that.
cutting you. Luke, sorry to be cutting you. But can you make a little faster for me? We gotta go off here now. I have a little emergency at home here. We have to go off here now. So just make it a little faster for me, please. And Will, and then Patrick, and then Will. Go ahead for me, please.
The thing is that Patrick, me that say if we not do the foundation, I want to work at the county level, then I believe that we can be more effective, because what we could do is build out a model. And secondly, my belief say like you and Wilfred Rattigan, we should put a counter paper to the manifesto that the Jamaican government put out, so that we could basically have recommendation as to how we see improvement could take into Jamaica. And that is what you're going to take to the people. Don't just go to them and tell them that we're here to just have a talk. Tell them, so we have some ideas, we're here to listen, and then try to build a synergy and make it run that way there. My recommendation. Good night. That's my final comment.
And just let me just say one word, one sentence. A sick doctor is not effective with this patient. And we are prevalent to be the doctors to help to fix Jamaica. We sick. we need to unite ourselves here solidly, come up with, start to take one or two things at a time to be more effective. Fix here first, get us together. And I agree with him. You know, we have belong to a church that does a lot of refugee thing, and we were just interviewed by the World Bank and all stuff to talk about how we are doing a lot of people putting refugees in homes, setting them up, getting them jobs and everything. And with that background and knowledge, you know, what we'll have and everybody have, we can come together and work on things here for us, and then spread it to Jamaica.
Mr. Rattigan?
Let me just a few quick points. One is, remember we were talking about the Attorney General under the Constitution. And again, we go back to documents. Section 79, subsection 1, it says, there shall be an Attorney General who shall be the principal legal advisor to the government of Jamaica. So when they appeal, we should not be surprised. And just so people understand, the ODPP, Office of the Director of Public Prosecution, they're responsible for criminal prosecutions. And then the Attorney General, they're responsible for civil matters. So if the government is going to sue somebody civilly, or if the government is sued civilly, the Attorney General, they step in. On the criminal side, you have the ODPP, the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution, and on the civil side, you have the Attorney General. I hope that clears it up. And then let me just jump to Section 94. Somebody asked a question saying that you can't fire the DPP. Not true. There is a procedure to fire the DPP, and it says right here 94.4. Sorry, not 94.4. 96.4. And it says, I'll read it for you quickly. It says the Director of Public Prosecutions may be removed from office only for inability to discharge the functions of his office, whether arising from infirmity of body or mind, you're physically sick or you're mentally unstable, or any other cause. Any other cause. And that's this case where we have now, or for misbehavior, and shall not be so removed except in accordance with the provisions of this section. And the way it works is that you have to go to the Prime Minister and petition him and have him recommend to the Governor General to empanel a tribunal to look into the matters that you're complaining about concerning the DPP, and then the tribunal will instruct the Governor General to say, no, this is nonsense, or yes, she should be removed. So the DPP can be fired, but only through the recommendation of the Prime Minister to the Governor General to empanel a tribunal. And if that tribunal comes back and says she should be fired, she should be fired. Now, having said that, let me just say that the dirty 30, what they want to call it, the standing 30 or the upright 30, and the fabulous 5 or the hateful 8, that group of concerned Jamaicans in the diaspora, we just sent off a letter. Oh, yeah, thanks, Jeff. I'll get to that in a second. We just sent off a letter to the Prime Minister, asking him to do exactly what I just described to you. We laid out the case. We laid out the DPP's statement on nationwide radio. We laid out the Constitution. We laid out the document drafted by Mr. Patterson, Mr. Phipps, I believe, regarding the case of
Patterson and Small.
And Small, right? The case where they pointed out the case of Michael Manley versus the Gleaner, and then we also put into that the transcript from the hearings held in the judges' chambers regarding the tainted jury. We'll put all of that, and so we're asking the Prime Minister now to recommend to the Governor General to set up this tribunal to decide whether or not she should keep her job. That's the only way she can be fired. We are also going next week to the GLC, General Legal Counsel. They can't fire her, but they can discipline her. But in disciplining her, it's almost like they're firing her, because if they say we're going to suspend your license or we're going to take away your license, then essentially she's fired. She can't practice law, so she can't be DPP. So we're sending some complaints to them about the same things that we're complaining to the Prime Minister and the Governor General about. Now, regarding Garfield, Garfield, let me just say that everything you've said, you're right on point. In fact, I used to live less than 5 minutes from Oakland and 441. I used to live right up the street. I know the parking lots. There's several of them there. There's a gas station on one side, and they have I think that there's a gas station on one side. On the other side, you have, on the other three, I think you have some strip malls.
Convenience stores.
The Jamaican restaurant across the diagonally from the service station. There's a Jamaican restaurant over there. And let me just say, Garfield, let me introduce you to the One Jamaica Legal Defense Foundation and also Reason with Rattigan. Tune in this Saturday, and so that you can listen to the reasoning, you can listen to what we're actually talking about, because what we're talking about are some of the same things you're talking about. I agree with you, because they are diaspora and suffering in the diaspora, and we're not paying attention to them, and we should. You're also right that we don't know who our representatives are, and that's a damn shame. We have failed you, Garfield. We have failed you. And that's why when I say we, talking about the diaspora movement that they call themselves, they have failed all of us, but they failed you, and you've made it known tonight. And I'm glad for you. I'm glad for you for the things you said and how you said them, because I felt your passion. I felt your pain. We feel them day, morning, noon, and night, and we express them on programs like this one with Jeffrey Tavares, Make We Talk, and we express them on my program and other programs as a Lonesome and Carlos and all the other programs, Mystic Sensation, all the other programs, we express our feelings. So I'm going to ask you to tune in this Saturday, Garfield, if only one time, because if you tune in one time, you're going to get hooked. I'm sure of that. And we'd like you to participate, because that's why we registered the name. It's no longer a movement, it's an organization. And pretty soon we're going to come out with our organizational chart so that people like you will know who your representatives are. By the way, your representative is a man by the name of Peter Gracie. Look him up and call him and ask him what the hell is he doing about helping
honorary Peter Gracie.
Honorary Peter Gracie. Ask him about that, Garfield. Ask him about that, right? Look him up. And by the way, Garfield, I'm not even sure if you look up, just Google diaspora members, global Jamaica diaspora members, and it'll take you to the Jamaican government website. That to show you how much control there is. It's not their website, it's a Jamaican government website. But I caution you when you look at the names, because some of the email addresses, them not correct. That to show you how much interest them have in this thing. Because I wrote to my representative, and she was telling me that she not get no email from me, and she pull up her email on her phone and blah, 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 blah. And then I pulled up the email that's listed on the government website. And I said to her, is this your email? And she said, no, the email changed. So be careful when you check, you might not have the correct email, might not be there. But just ask around. Oh, who's my Jacqueline? Yours is Michelle Tolo Neal. She come from Philly, and she control everything from, I think, Maine all the way down to Virginia. Right. And then Mr. Gracie control everything south of Virginia and west of, and some states west of Florida. So Garfield, I want to thank you for the call, because I sat here and I listened to you, and only through comments like that, people like you make, that we can get energized and we can get the community together and do what it should have been doing years ago. But you know what? It's never too late for a shower or rain. So Garfield, big up yourself, my brethren. See you Saturday.
And Jackie, the man that you're asking about, the old man in Waterhouse that we are trying to help, we have reached out to the Ministry of Labour and Social Security and the National Council for Senior Citizens. From last week, they were supposed to assign the designated officers for for us to take them back there to visit him. But we know we're going to wait in vain. So what we do, we have called Food for the Poor, and we're trying to have a discussion with the owner of the property. So if him can get a Food for the Poor house erected, and we're trying to still organize some stuff for him, but we don't want to overdo it. So again, you can reach out to Jeffrey, and Jeffrey can basically give you the list will be on Jeffrey for anybody who wants it of his immediate needs.
And one quick thing before I go, Abina, Garfield, Abina said that she reached out to Mr. Gracie and she said he doesn't return calls. So try the email, maybe he'll respond. But
maybe she just addressed it as Peter Gracie. She needs to say the honor Peter Gracie, because I tell you, every time I hear this man speaking, he expounds on honor Peter Gracie. I'm wondering if he never felt important as a child. That excites him.
Well,
all right.
Here's the thing. Jeffrey just put something up, and I want to turn everybody's attention to it. This is very important. Not that everything we have spoken about here tonight, very important, but this is almost on an immediate, on the level of immediacy. You take it down, brother.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. It's a Jamaicans and friends of Jamaicans. This is the protest we're talking about that's going to occur 2 weeks from tomorrow. Where? New York City, 42nd Street and 2nd Avenue in front of the Jamaican consulate. We will be there raising our voices in protest against corruption, crime, poverty, healthcare, education, etc. We just finished. The t-shirts will be finished. We have a mock-up. On Saturday, I'll show you the t-shirts. When you go and love it, and you can put in no order now because we have the t-shirts ready. And as I said, the contributions can start flowing in from overseas because we have the Cash App and PayPal. We have all of them things set up, so we're ready to go. But please, if you can, join us on May 10th, Friday, May 10th, 2024, from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. in front of the Jamaican consulate, because the thing I got turn up, because we have to turn it up. Otherwise, them now will really pay attention. And we are turning it up in front of the international media, which is what I'm afraid of. So we did a press release, which will go out next week. The press release, wicked. When you see the Jamaican government, them going tremble, them knee going knock and them going drop, because everything there is factual, and they cannot take issue with the things that are there. So we're going to send it out next week to ABC, CBS, NBC, Fox, CNN, WPIX, all of the social media outlets will have it. We're going to make sure the people in England them put it out as well. People in Canada do the same thing. We have some people in Africa. Yes, we know we're not leaving out. We do the same thing too. In Ghana, South Africa, Nigeria, and elsewhere. It will be widespread. We also have people traveling from far and wide to come to the protest already. To make them arrangements. So if you can, make your arrangements to be there. Also, it will be live streamed by none other than Mr. Vumvava, Mr. Vumva V. Jamaican Carlos will do it. OBC Radio will do it. Lonesome will be doing it. And we have the fireman from Jamaica. What's it? 96.1? Jeffrey?
I think no. It's New Start 93.
93, New Start 93. He will be doing it. He'll be live streaming it. Plus, we're also gonna put advertisements in the newspapers in Jamaica so that everybody know. And then what we're going to do, the people who cannot make it, we're going to have, that will be a day of solidarity. So they will either wear something in solidarity with us, or they will do something in solidarity with us. But at the end of the day, it will be peaceful. Yeah, that's the mock-up of the t-shirt right now. We're going to refine it tomorrow. This is just the first draft. It won't be like this when we're done. But you see what it said? It's a call to action against the Jamaican government for corruption, poverty, no standing, crime, broken promises, health, education, water, etc. The one that you will, and on the back, New York protest, May 10, 2024, Jamaican consulate. Go back to the front for me, please, Jeffrey. All right, the front. The call to action won't be in green. It will be a splash of green, the Jamaican colors. And it will say call to action against the corrupt government of Jamaica. And corrupt will be highlighted, big, bold, and bright on our seat. And then we're going to have some more things that we are protest about on the front of the shirt. So we'll have things in addition to corruption, poverty, so on and so forth. For example, you will have constitutional violations. You will have statutory declarations, because we know we have a prime minister who have an issue with that, and also with the Constitution. So we're going to have a whole heap more on the front of the shirt. So how can I get a t-shirt to buy? Maylene, you will get it. The t-shirt is not, it's not completed yet. We're still making some changes to it. It will be, it should be ready for sale within the next 5 to 7 days. So bear with us, because the group, we have a group, and nothing gets done without the group. And the group is, headed by none other than Dr. Rupert Francis. And what we do is it's consensus. So we bring things to the group, ideas, strategies, whatever. And so for right now, what we're doing with this is that we're going through the motions of people adding, subtracting, refining. So tomorrow, the t-shirt will be final, and it's going to take about 4 or 5 days for imprint a whole bunch. More than 100 will print. And then we're going to have them on the website. We'll have them at the March for sure. So you can come in and pick up your t-shirt and join the protest in your uniform. That is your uniform when you come on the protest, that t-shirt. Remember that. No matter what else you wear, if you wear, put it over it. Even if you have a white t-shirt, you put this over it. This our uniform, all right? So, Jeffrey, thank you so much for having me on. Luke George, big up yourself, my brother. And Patrick, big up yourself. And Leo, big up yourself. Like your article, but we need to talk some more. So that's all I have, son. And big up the people in the chat and the people who make the phone call. Big up everybody.
Indeed. And I just want to say to everyone, remember, it will be live on the Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Until you hear my voice again, may God bless you. May God bless Jamaica land we love. Thanks to Wilfred Radigan, Luke George Cook, Leo Gilling, and Patrick Beckford for coming on. Thank you all very much. Talk to you guys later. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. God bless you all. And may God bless Jamaica land we love. Have a good night, everyone.
When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, make we talk, my people, make we talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Make we talk, people, make we talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So people, make we talk. Hey, we're living in a world that on ourselves we must depend. Make we talk.